Hello, everyone, and great morning to all of you. We, Team OPEX, are great to share that we are now live for this national conclave on campus to corporate in collaboration with Bada Business Private Limited. So, today, this conclave is going to witness top Indian academic stalwarts, which from different universities, and they will be discussing on three E's challenges, that is, employability, entrepreneurship, and employment. On top of this, we have today very special guest that is none other than Dr. Vivek Bindra sir from the founder and CEO of Bada Business Private Limited. So I'll just share you without wasting much time. I'll just share you the objective of this particular program. So in this entire conclave, during this entire program, we will be having a keynote address by Sri Atul Bhatnagarji, who is the ex-CEO of National Skill Development Corporation. And this will be followed by a panel discussion and the question and answer forum with all these academic stalwarts who will be brainstorming, who will be giving some inputs, their experiences, their learnings, their initiatives, how they are bringing this particular employability or how they are bridging this particular gap between industry and academia. So as we see India Skills Report 2020, it is clearly stated that even today we have demographic dividend. Yes, we have to accept the fact that nearly 64% of our population, their average age is 28. Right now, we need to consider this demographic dividend as one of the advantage, but every coin has two sides. On one hand, we have this demographic dividend, but if we do not skill or if we do not bridge this gap between industry and academia, we can face or we can see the other side of the coin, that is demographic disaster. So the objective of this program is what could be the possible solution in bringing all these changes. And that is how we have invited all these academic stalwarts, all these academic experts to brainstorm and to share their inputs, their vision on these three E's challenges, that is employability, entrepreneurship, and employment. So once we done with panel discussion, today we have a very special chief guest, that is Dr. Vivek Bindra sir, and he will be sharing all his inputs, all his experiences, all his innovative solutions to bring this change in practice. So without wasting much time, I'll request Ms. Uma to continue with this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Uma Dabir. I'm your host for this event. And I would like to introduce to you with much pleasure our keynote speaker, Mr. Atul Bhatnagar. Mr. Atul Bhatnagar is an alumni of IIT Kanpur and IIM Kolkata. He has over 28 years of corporate experience in India and abroad. He's worked with Citibank, HSBC, Barclays, beside Tata Motors and the National Skill Development Corporation. Since 2016, he has found his calling in being an independent advisor to social impact organizations in the field of skill development, renewable energy, education, and fintech. In New York, in October 2011, he was awarded the Male Diversity Champion Award. Now, Mr. Bhatnagar, I know that this award is close to your heart, sir. So please do elaborate on this award when you're talking to us. The floor is yours, sir. Mr. Bhatnagar. Mr. Bhatnagar?
Thank you, Uma. Thank you. Thank you for your kind introduction.
Pleasure, sir, having with us.
Good morning to you, all of you. And it's a pleasure being in this e-conference. Many of these are being aired in various forums. But what I found interesting was the topic of this conference, which is campus to corporate, very dear to my heart. And after having spent 28 years in corporate, I thought this would be a very good forum to share my experiences. So there are a number of various videos and courses on the net on campus to corporate. I'm not going to dwell on that. I'm going to talk something which happened to me and how my career progressed. And that's where, and thanks Uma for mentioning the Male Diversity Champion Award. I will definitely talk about it. Now, to all the audience, especially to the students, because, you know, students, you are really the chief guest for this particular conference. If you hadn't been there, this conference wouldn't have any meaning. So definitely, with due regards to Dr. Bindra, I would address the students as my customers. First mantra of any corporate is think customer. Everywhere you go, no matter in India, abroad, and I've been to 3 of the major banks, HSBC, Citibank, Barclays, the mantra was think customer. Like Om, Om is a universal mantra. It resonates with the universe. Think customer is the mantra for any kind of corporate relationship that you may have. Not only as a salaried person, if you are an entrepreneur, again, you have to think customer. Now, what does think customer mean really? Think customer means that everything that you do, whether you are in marketing or sales, or you are in IT or operations or backend, whatever you do, there has to be some relation to what you're trying to change for the customer. Now, many a time I find the entrepreneurs too much in love with their code that they have written, the app they have made, or any kind of product service that they have made, and they lose track whether the customer really needs it or not. Because the customer is the one who's paying your salary, and the customer is the one who's paying the revenues if you're an entrepreneur. What do I mean when I say customer pays your salary? Now, in a bank, especially it was when I joined Citibank way back in 1990, it was ingrained into us that the salary is coming from the customer. We were given 1.5 days of training on how to work on the phone, how to answer the phone. Why was all this emphasis made? At that time, we just thought maybe it's one of those cliched statements you read in a book. But look at 2008, 2009, when banks started falling apart. In Greece, in Greenland, people lost trust in banks. They did not want to keep the money in the bank. They would rather keep it in their own houses because banks would lose their money. In a situation like that, who will the bank serve now? And if the banks can't serve the customer, then who will pay for the employees of the bank? So it was not just a cliched statement. It is the fact of life, think customer. Even at the macro scale, if you were to look at a nation, India, what does our Honorable Prime Minister say? Atithi Dev Bhava. Why? When the tourist comes to India, if he or she is given the proper service, given that Atithi Dev Bhava kind of feeling, then that person is going to spend more money in India. Not only that, when he or she goes back to their home country or any other country, he or she will talk about India. So again, for the nation, think customer is the tourist. And of course, within the whole country, all of us are customers. Now, how does one think of customer? Think of yourself as a customer. When you dial a telecom line and you put on endless wait, or if the person at the other end doesn't speak to you well, how do you feel? Well, the same feeling comes to the customer also. So you have to kind of look back within and see that if you don't want to be treated in a certain negative form, then you should be giving out the positive side of yourself. So again, in Citibank, I'll give you an example that as and when we developed any new piece of code or a program, we were told to sit in the call center and listen to the customer when the product is launched. It's so important to have customer feedback. And customer feedback, because you may have done your best, but the customer feedback might be different. So this is one important mantra I'd leave you with. At all times, it'll serve you well in your entire corporate career or entrepreneurial career. The success is how you make the customer yours, loyal to you, loyal to your product, loyal to your organization. You are the brand ambassador at any point in time for the customer. And more so in this virtual world, whether it's the email you write, whether it's the letter you send, whether you talk or the blog that you answer on the social media, the kind of posts that are made, how you respond to them, all of this means that there's a customer at the other end. And there was something called a service quality officer in Citibank. That person had a single line agenda, how to get a customer satisfaction survey of 80% satisfied customers. Just one single agenda. He used to report directly to the CEO of the bank. And his whole purview was the entire bank. Every single customer touch point, every single mailer, letter, email, product brochure, anything, everything was all kind of reporting to him indirectly. He had to make sure the service standards are followed all through the bank. So a very big job, but a single line KRA, 80% customer satisfaction. So I can't stress more on customer behavior, but the feedback that is important from them is very important. Now, that's where I come to complaints. Now, complaints are the best form of feedback, by the way. So don't shy away from them. Feedback doesn't mean that you have surveys and you have questionnaires to be filled up and various kind of analytics to be done on there. But look at the complaints very carefully, because the customer speaks through complaints, and that comes from the heart. Even in a relationship, what happens? The complaint actually tells you what's going wrong, where the pain is, and how you set right the pain. So same with the customer complaints. In fact, in HSBC, I used to have one of my KRAs was that complaint should be less than 0.5% of the customer base. Now, if there were two less, I used to be hauled up, and if there are more, of course, I would be in trouble. If there are two less, means that somebody is hiding complaints. They have come up with a metric. So if it is important to know what the customer is feeling at all times, otherwise one fine day, the rug will be pulled under your feet and all the customers might disappear and your business might collapse. So it's important to how to turn complaints into compliments. Now, I've done that going out of my way, and I've had some flowers and cakes delivered to my office. Why? But the customer felt from a very negative situation to a very positive situation, and that's a customer becomes loyal to you. I'm sure Dr. Binder is going to dwell more on this customer feedback and customer complaints, but it's very important that you take it as a mantra for yourself. Now, next is outcome orienting. You know, you have to be very outcome oriented. It's no longer like, say, I read a book. Okay, thanks. But what did you come out from the book? What can you do for the organization by reading a book? Or if you've done a project, what is the outcome? Outcome means what are you going to deliver as a tangible service or a product or something which can affect positively the organization. So outcome oriented, till now in school or in college, it is good enough to kind of, let's say, start a project. Maybe, you can sit back, somebody else takes the lead, and the project grade is such that it's shared by everybody. If you've got a good project teammate, he or she gets the grade for you, and you sit back and you're happy. You might be ready to do some photocopying in the back, formatting of the project reports, etc. By the way, I'm saying all this because I've also done it. So it's not something that I'm finding blame or trying to point out something that you may have done. It's natural. It happens. But now comes a time when you are moving into the corporate world that you are seen as a self-starter.
Yes.
You are seen that you want to go out of your comfort zone, take up a project, move forward with it, take people along, be collaborative, and all the other things that you may have been taught of as soft skills. But so important that you are at the time outcome oriented. What is my project going to deliver? And how or when will it be able to deliver? That comes to the commitment level. How committed you are. At this time, I'd like to quote that Salman Khan famous dialogue, "Ek baar commitment kar di, to fir main to apni bhi nahi sunta hu." That Salman Khan wanted. I think it's most applicable in corporate world, but wanted as in for the right reason. You want to be wanted by the organization. You want to be wanted by the seniors. You want to be visible. Again, in terms of visibility, it's quite different from the campus side. A good student in a class, in a college, in a school is one who puts a head down, does the work, doesn't make noise in class, very good boy or girl, and the teacher loves him or her as a pet for, the ideal student. Keeps quiet, answers only when asked about a question. In the corporate, it's quite the opposite, really. You want to be visible? Then get out of your comfort zone. Do things, be visible in terms of ready to take responsibility. And it becomes a lot different. And there's nobody watching you there. There's no professor or teacher saying, oh, this guy is a 90%er and, he's a good person. No, there's nobody. You have to sell yourself. When I say sell yourself, it's not in a negative form, but being the right person to go to when it comes to getting something done. It's so important to make that commitment, be visible, and getting out of your comfort zone to be ready to take up any project, any task, any amount. Next is, look, at any point in time, look for skills. Don't call yourself as a banker, in my case, like banker or an engineer or maybe a skill development person or being in marketing or being in operations. Those are just taglines. Look for the skills behind it. I'll give you an example of mine. I joined Citibank in credit cards in 1990. I didn't know anything about credit cards. In fact, very, very few people in India knew about credit cards. So applied basic principles, learned about credit cards. Then I was in fraud control. There's not a single book on fraud control in entire India or even abroad to teach me how to control fraud on credit cards. Learn from basic principles again. From fraud control, I moved to marketing. And again, how can a fraud control guy move into marketing? Now, if you look at it on a very basic, when I talk about basic principles and basic skills, what do you do in fraud control? Or what do you do in marketing? You have a customer base, you segment the customer base, you try and see how customers behave in a particular segment, you analyze their behavior, spending patterns. Now, in marketing, you tell the customer, spend more. You come up with products and services and brochures and promotions to make the customer spend more. In fraud control, well, you know that every time the customer such a customer spend, actually he's no longer a customer, he's a fraudster, prevent that person from spending. So only the action changes. The rest of the skills are the same. So it doesn't matter whether you're in marketing or you're in fraud control. The skills are the same. The action matters. So look at yourself as to how you move your career from one job, so-called job, or one organization to another, to entrepreneurship, wherever you may be going. What are the basic skills you're gathering on the way? How are you going to utilize them? And how do you want to make a difference in not only the organization, in your own self? So it's very important that you keep reminding yourself that you're not just one, because you've graduated from let's say an engineering university doesn't mean that you are an engineer alone. You are much more. And doesn't mean that you have to be only IT oriented. Why not join? You can be a liberal arts person also. It's how you train your mind to think big. That comes to my last part. I think you need to have a very close look at your inner being, because our outside world is changing so fast, and such this black swan event has happened in terms of COVID. Unless you control the interior of you, you will not be able to cope up with the exterior part. I would suggest meditate and get your emotional quotient right. EQ is a jargon that's being used nowadays, but it's very important. I have been with the Art of Living for the last 20 years, and I meditate daily, and I do my pranayam. And these are not just Indian, let's say, Indian wisdom. These are real facts of life. You don't have to look outside of India to be a better person. You have to look within. And this is very important for the future, how you meditate, how you maintain yourself and make yourself a better being. And by doing that, so many things come out from you. You start doing seva. When you do seva, and as Uma mentioned about this Male Diversity Champion Award, I hadn't gone there, I had no idea that this would become so big. It was just a small request from the Women's Network Forum in Barclays in Kenya that they wanted a room for lactation. These were mothers who had joined back the bank, and they needed to feed milk to the child. Now the child is at home, the mother is in office. What do? There was a rule that, you can take 2 hours off, go to home, feed the child, come back. But imagine the kind of traffic, the heat, the mother having to rush across, feed the child, come back, and the mother and the child was used to be with the nanny. This is the Kenyan culture. All that we did was create a small room where the lady could lactate, put the milk in a bottle, freeze it, and at the time of going home, you take the bottle back with you. So the mother and the child may not be together, but the baby gets fed on the mother's milk. What happened as a result of this, the productivity of the bank went up. The same ladies could now work longer hours with more commitment without getting fatigued, and the baby was happy at home also. So this was just a small tweak, but it became such a big event at the end of the day. I hadn't thought about the outcome in this case, by the way, but the outcome came out to be very well. And the very last word I'd like to say is smile. Keep smiling. The world needs it. And when you smile at your fellow colleagues, they smile back. So have a happy career. Keep smiling, and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you for your guidance and wise advice, sir. I'm sure that our young viewers will benefit much from your shared views. Thank you so much, sir. All right. So now moving on to our esteemed panel of management experts and our expert moderator, Dr. Ganesh Rao. I'd like to introduce Dr. Rao to you. Dr. Rao has been the director at Midcon Institute of Management, Pune for a decade. Before that, he has 20 years of rich and varied industry experience. He's an academician at heart, a true team leader and a mentor for hundreds of management professionals. Dr. Rao, welcome to the forum, Dr. Rao. Let me tell you a little bit about our esteemed panel members today. I'll start with Dr. Ratan Sharma. He is the Professor Emeritus at WIPS, which is in New Delhi. Over 40 years, he has worked in elite institutes like IIM Lucknow, SP Jain Institute, Mumbai, the Administrative Staff College of India, that is in Hyderabad, and the Manchester Business School. He is a member of a number of professional bodies and helps various institutes in their efforts to provide quality and relevant management education. We also have with us Dr. Eknath Khedkar. He is the Vice President of Ajinkya D.Y. Patil University and Director at D.Y. Patil School of Management. He is a dynamic educationist. He has more than 35 research papers to his credit, published in various national and international journals. He is a much sought-after management research guide at the University of Pune. During his 33 years of illustrious career, he has authored and published 45 books. We also have with us, joining us is Dr. Venkatesh Raikar. He is the Vice Chancellor at Sanjay Kudavat University, Kolhapur. Dr. Raikar has been instrumental in transforming the Sanjay Kudavat Institute into a university in a span of just 7 years. He has always believed in a democratic style of leadership and empowering others. He has published more than 30 papers in international and national journals. He is an executive council member of ISTE New Delhi and VTU Karnataka. Along with these, we have Dr. Pramod Kumar. He is president at ISBNM. He is the founder and promoter of the International School of Business and Media Group. He has been faculty at IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, XLRI Jamshedpur. He was also the research and placement chairperson at XLRI, director at Symbiosis Institute of Business Management at Pune. He has authored over 100 research papers, cases, and management games. In fact, his research is quoted extensively by other researchers and authors internationally. He is a consultant and trainer in behavioral science and HR to multinationals like HLL, GSK, Tata Steel, Tata Motors, Honda Power Products, and so on. He is also a consultant to UNICEF and to the World Bank. Okay. Our next guest, also panel members, Dr. G.K. Shirude. He is a Vice Chancellor, Sri Balaji University, Pune. Under his able guidance, Sri Balaji is now a deemed university with a highly successful track record in academia. We have also with us Mr. Paritosh Sharma. He's VP Products at Bada Business Private Limited. His goal is to empower millions of Bharat entrepreneurs and students at Bada Business. Also with us is Dr. Sushma Kulkarni. She is the director at Rajaram Babu Institute of Technology in Maharashtra. She is a PhD in civil engineering with 32 years of teaching experience in subjects such as concrete technology, construction management, and watershed management. She also holds a provisionally registered patent titled Academic System based on mobile computing devices. She was awarded the Duncan Fraser Global Award for Excellence in Engineering Education in 2019. With us also is Dr. Anil Rao. He's the Senior Dean at Wellinkar Institute of Management in Bangalore. He's a chartered accountant with 12 years of industry experience and was a part of the core team to start the Wellinkar campus in Bangalore. We have Dr. Navneet Sharma with us. He's the Dean at Vijayabhumi University and Professor of Business Responsibility. His core interests lie where business strategy, economics, law, and policy converge. He frequently assists state governments and corporates with forming policies pertaining to business responsibility, market structure, and business conduct. He is a strong advocate for corporate social responsibility. We have also with us Mr. Pran Mehta. After graduating from college, Mr. Mehta went on a Kodak scholarship to England, thereafter on another scholarship by ACFA Jivat to Germany. Enriched by these experiences, he pioneered the Indian photo business and went on to establishing MCC Group in India that has leveraged global brands like Canon for 30 years in India. He went on to serve the underprivileged via the Rotary Indian Literacy Mission to eradicate illiteracy from this country. He was awarded the Avenues Service of Citation for individual Rotarians by the Rotary International President, Mr. Tanaka. Yes. So, over to you, Dr. Rao. Looking forward to your discussion with this panel of experts.
Yes. Yes, very good afternoon, everybody. And thank you, Uma, for your kind introduction. Today, we have a galaxy of speakers, a galaxy of academicians, people from industry today gathered. If you look at their total impact on the society over the past 30 to 40 years, their institution combined would have impacted more than 1 million students in management education and in other avenues of education. We have got a very relevant theme of employment, employability, and entrepreneurship today. These three are more important, especially in today's challenging times. The level of skills, knowledge, and attitudes required by various professionals is very much relevant to the state of economy. If you look at our country, India, we are a world by itself. We've got a developing world. Other side, we have got a developed world. We got an upper crust of society. And then we got a vast majority who are underprivileged. So we are a world by itself. So it's a very, very challenging subject to discuss about employment, employability, and entrepreneurship in our country. If you look at a management student who takes admission into the various management courses, at the outset, his aspiration is to get into a good corporate job. He wants a good corporate job. After that, usually they have in mind that over the next 5 years, they would like to get into some kind of own enterprise after suitable experience. What happens later depends on the individual scenarios. But if you look at the problem or the aspiration of our students, 90% would like to get into employment and 10% would like to get into startups. This is an overall equation. But if you look at the equation that we need now, we need more of job creators. We, of course, need job seekers, but we also need job creators. And we need enterprise to blossom in young people. We need that entrepreneurial zeal in young management graduates. Because not only is entrepreneurship required for you to start up, but also it is required to be an entrepreneurial manager. What is employment? Employment is more related to getting a job. Employability is about having the necessary knowledge, skills, and attitude. While entrepreneurship is about having the skills for startup, the skills to manage the enterprise, and the skills to take it to the next level. So entrepreneurship, employment, employability in the context of the Indian economy is a very complex subject. It's very important that we are going to discuss this subject. We have a number of opportunities. we have challenges, we have solutions. Most important is the problem of employment has to be properly diagnosed, because sometimes we come into a thought process of popular opinions and come up with popular solutions. We need to go to the root level. We have got 10 excellent speakers today with rich experience in their own areas and having impacted the society. We're going to listen from them pearls of wisdom. And we are so fortunate to listen to all of the people, all the management professionals who have gathered here, students, professors. Let's listen to these wonderful people and take from them what we can do in our own ways. Firstly, we start with our first speaker, Dr. Ratan Sharma. Dr. Ratan Sharma has been a tall leader in the northern part of the country, and through his institution has served a number of students. Sir, what do you think is the problem of employment and employability in our country? I would request you to go to the exact diagnosis of it, because from the exact diagnosis would come the possible solutions. Dr. Sharma.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Rao. I think the problem seems to be change which is taking place in the society, which is very fast. I must mention a few things. The gap between what we teach in the business schools and what is being expected by the industry, there has been a very wide gap which has been noticing for the last 40, 45 years I have been in the education field. We at business schools have been trying really to bridge this gap in all possible ways, whether it was IIM setup or non-IIM setup. But changes are so fast that more we try, I think more is the gap which is really happening in this case. And that is where really the problem is. That number one, there is a change which is taking place in the society, which is very fast, number one. Secondly, as a business school, we owe a responsibility also. Many a times we start doing, you have mentioned it already, that there is a knowledge, attitude, skills, and also the values, which really that sort of a framework with the academic community, which we really are very comfortable with. As an institute, are we really trying to teach courses or the subjects which are required by the industry? Now, again, we are making an attempt, not that some of the institutions not making an attempt, they are making an attempt, but I think more needs to be done in that area. I'll mention a few things. For example, when we say knowledge, knowledge is, again, we try to divide, though everybody knows by this time we have core courses in the management, we have electives also. But I must say a few things that one is in knowledge relating to the discipline which we are really teaching. So he said knowledge relating to the discipline. Second is what we impart, in fact, in the institutes is not interdisciplinary. For example, if I'm a finance faculty, then I remain a finance faculty. I really do not see the implication which marketing people have got it, or strategy has got it, or production has got it. Second part, therefore, is the interdisciplinary connections which these disciplines have got it. And third thing, which I feel it, the application part. Everything needs to be applied. We do through the case methodology, we do through the role plays. I think more important part is that we should send our students to the field, which not many we are able to do it. We have made an attempt, in fact, business schools, whichever way, but then we have tried. And fourth, which I feel now is very contextual, is important rather, is the procedural knowledge. I mean, I know, for example, I may understand that there's electricity, I know it. But if I'm not able to set or repair some problem of electricity at home, then I don't think that knowledge really matters. Same thing happens in the case of the management knowledge. We should be able to, the procedural part, how really we should get into. So this question again to answer is, problem is on our part also, which means as a business school, we have to relook at it. We have to introspect. We have really to see as to what is required. We many times do not know what is happening in the industry. Industry say we teach is something which is not required. So we need to have a more interaction with the industry people, really. So we should understand what are the various skills and the knowledge gaps that we have got it. So probably we need to be a little more proactive, more so in times of the pandemic, where we got the crisis at hand. And we really have to see as to drastic change which has taken place in what we say our model of cash, knowledge, attitude, skill, and the habits that people got it. We need to have a relook at it drastically about this model that we got it. We need to be a little more proactive in this case. That's what I feel it. I mean, that's one. Second, also, I will say the students part also. The role of the students is very important. I think we need to set their expectations right. I mean, something like I belong to a particular institution which is known IIM. And in IIM, there is a faculty which is where the placement is very good. They should not expect that everything happening in IIM will happen here also. I think we need to have very reasonable things, their expectations with the students. And that is what role of the business school is. Probably that is also there. And there are many ways. I think we can discuss how really to set the expectation of the students in that direction. So probably I think all have to work together, frankly. I think that is what. So diagnosis is we can really always see, we know it. It's a question of the execution which matters, Dr. Rao. We know problems, and not that you are not aware of it. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it on the panelists. What are the issues, in fact, which are facing the management education? It's a question of the execution which we have to do it. And every institution will do in one's own way, depending upon at what stage of development that institution is. IIMs will do in their way, and IIMs of top 4, 5 will do in their way. Rest of the other, they will do their way. And non-IIMs, they will do their way. Tier 2 cities will do in a different way, and so on and so forth. I think there's a way which is going to be there. I don't think I will need to discuss, at least I'm not getting into that. But certainly these are the things which probably we need to get into, Dr. Rao.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your wise words of advice. We note it. Today, industry needs people who would start working immediately. And that's called employability. They do not want a gestation period. Like in cricket, we need to score from the first ball. Okay, so that is the change in the system, in the society, that we need to start, working from day one. You need to start producing from day one. Dr. Khedkar is there with us. He's been the Vice Chancellor of Ajinkya Diva Patil and currently the Vice President, a leading chartered accountant and a leading speaker and educationist, has been a dean. Sir, how have you been coping up with these challenges of employability and employment in your initiatives at your university? Dr. Khedkar, sir. So your mic, sir, kindly switch on your mic.
Yeah, not audible.
Yes. Nice, sir. Kindly switch on your mic. So would you like to take some time and put your system in order? I go to the next speaker and I come back to Dr. Khedkar in a while. We have with us Dr. Riker, Vice Chancellor of Sanjay Godawat University. He's a very tall personality in Western Maharashtra and has taken a lot of initiatives in employment and employability skills. Sir, may I request you to address us on what are the possible solutions you have initiated to solve this very critical problem of employment, entrepreneurship, and employability. Dr. Riker, sir.
Yeah, good morning to all. Last 3 months, I have been attending a number of webinars. There used to be always discussion about Corona, when it will stop, all the issues. Now, today, the new topic, I am really happy, because the Corona issue is not brought in this webinar. So I am happy in this connection. I think this topic, whatever the organizer selected, is a beautiful topic. It is nothing to do with Corona, because everybody is trying hard to get employment to the students. So as per my knowledge, the employment is there. The number of jobs are there in the market. But, the students, what we produce from the institutions are not employable. So the huge responsibilities on academia people or academics people. So in this connection, if you see that today we talk about industry 4.0, pharma 4.0, education 4.0, what sorts of skill sets are required? That is most important. So mainly the skill set required for the present generations are, as per my knowledge goes, the complex problem skills, critical thinking, creativity, people management, coordinating with others, emotional intelligence, judgment and decision making, service orientation, negotiation, and cognitive flexibility. So these are the skills are very important to get a jobs in the market as on, let it be a management side or it is a technical or pharma, any or social science. So these skills we have to imbibe among the students community, because it doesn't mean that the student don't have skill sets, because once he joins any professional college, he might have gained so many skill sets during his 12th standard till 12th standard. He might have also acquired lot of skills. Everything we need not to teach new things, but our job is to, what you call fine tuning the skills. So the boy joins whether the management course or engineering course, he should be understood by the teachers. So we talk about mentoring, counseling in every education institution. Are there we are doing effectively those mentoring or counseling of all the students? That is the most part of it. I think we institution, we are lagging in this. We telling we do a lot of mentoring. The boy joins first year engineering or first year MBA course. If you mentor properly once in a month, what skill sets he are not having, which area is to improve. If you keep a track on those what you call trades, I think the boy can be get employed like anything. Because today we talk about disruptive technology. Yes, the technology is changing. As per my knowledge, I think everybody is aware of that VUCA word. VUCA means everybody knows that VUCA stands for volatile, U for uncertainty, C for complex, and A for ambiguity. As per knowledge, if you convert V into vision, U into understand, C for creativity, A for agility. If you think that this disruptive technology in this way, I think we can do wonders, because whatever the industry 4.0 or disturbing technology, it is a boon for India. Because here in this technology, I think the like emerging technology like artificial intelligence, then deep learning, machine learning, augmented reality, mixed reality. These things needs a IQ intelligence quotient, and Indians are famous for meant for this IQ throughout the world. I think this is a boom for India. Another this technology, the industry 4.0 will be for another for 20-25 years. I think this is a boom for India. Everywhere we can excel, because IQ is India is more compared to other countries region, and demographic dividend is a plus point for us. I think we people are very creativity. I think who can rule the whole world. There is not at all issue of employability, and I think everybody has to strive hard regarding improve the skill set of the students when who joins engineering or management in their institution. For example, in my university, the students from rural area used to have a poor English. Especially in I think Pune, I think Ganesh Rao will be knowing that Pune, Mumbai, they are having good English. In my area, Kolhapur area, the problem is that with English, because we started, how to improve the communication skill of the students. So we are not taken number of classes. First, the moment the student joined, we conducted diagnostics test of all 1,400 students. We categorize A, B, C grade students. Those who have got D grade means they're unable to talk a simple sentence. So we developed a curriculum for those D students. Within one semester, we brought the students from B to C, C to B, B to A. This is the thing we have been doing it. Then our employment rate is increasing, because whenever the company comes, they conduct a lot of quantitative aptitude, what you call writing essay. So whether our students are we have molded in this fashion, or we have improved their weaknesses, I think the employment is not at all a problem. The employability, the skill sets required by the employer is most important. It is, I think, the time for in the education institution to take care of each and every student and to improve their soft skill as well as the emerging technology knowledge. Because in my university, these emerging technology like IoT, artificial intelligence, machine learning, we have introduced to not only the engineering students, we introduced to science students, the management students, liberal arts students, pharmacy students. I think these are the need of the hours. I think if you take care of all these emerging technology plus diagnostics, it is also we call, I think Sushma Swaraj madam must be knowing that, Sushma Kulkarni, that parallel thinking reinforcement techniques. So this is the need of the hour. I think in that IUC, I think Sushma Kulkarni taken care of that parallel thinking reinforcement techniques. I think if you imbibe those things, definitely there is not an issue of, regarding campus to corporate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, so much. And I think if we continue with these kind of sessions, wherein education institutions can learn from each other, collaborate academically, I think we can make this our educational fraternity a great place.
Sure. Thank you.
Curriculum upgradation has been the buzzword nowadays. Times are changing, the industry is changing, the customers are changing, and the curriculum also needs to change so that better skills and better knowledge is given to the students. Dr. Pramod Kumar has been for the past 40 years a great contributor to management education all over the country. I would request Dr. Pramod Kumar to address us on what are the kind of curriculum changes which are the need of the hour to improve upon employability, employment, and entrepreneurship. Dr. Pramod Kumar, sir, kindly take over. Dr. Pramod Kumar, sir. Are you on the line, sir? Dr. Pramod Kumar?
I'm online.
Yes, sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes. Now you're audible.
Yeah. Could you repeat the question because I didn't get it?
Okay. I will just come. Curriculum upgradation has been the buzzword now. And we always talk about curriculum upgradation as one of the strategies to improve upon employability and entrepreneurship. Because times are changing, business are changing, skills are changing. So curriculum should change. We can't have outdated curriculum. So your words on this, your opinion on this, and how we can go ahead by changing our curriculum as needed.
You see, we need to look at the management education in three forms. One is I must learn the domain where the curriculum plays a role. Okay. Now, in general, curriculum challenges should not be very huge because after all professors, if they're doing researching, they're doing some exploring. So that should not be a big challenge to upgrade the curriculum. Now, if one is referring to, okay, let's say a university prescribed curriculum, I think the flexibility institutions still have to introduce whatever they want to introduce for students. They still have the flexibility to do so. It might or might not go into the certificate program, but it will be good for learning. So for me, the curriculum is really not so much of an issue. The second side of it, which is learning the execution skills, okay, is a bigger challenge. I think, am I audible?
Yes, please. You're very much audible. Kindly go ahead.
Okay. So the second side, which is the execution related issues, because let's understand, when a student passes out, he would still take 3, 4, 5 years before he gets onto a level where he is very active in planning and all those issues. Okay. So his bigger challenge would be one, being part of some execution discussion issues. Two is carrying forward the execution. Now, in carrying forward the execution, there are several challenges. One, the student himself is a challenge because they come from a background where are they ready to deal with the difficulties and hardships. Okay, so that's one issue institutions must learn to deal with. You can't just conduct lectures in the classroom and expect them to be employable enough. The lectures in the classroom will give them some domain knowledge. So let's say if I taught them pricing strategy, this guy who enters industry, company as a management trainee or executive training or sales training, what role he has in pricing strategy? He has nothing to do with it. Okay. What role he has there is handling a distribution channel, handling if he is doing marketing, or if he has to do backend data, then he has to be very strong on mathematics and issues like that, which very often is not the case. Okay, so but that's something, if somebody is not very strong in mathematics and all that, that's something you cannot teach at this stage. Okay, they will have to, students also have to be guided to select what fits them well, because they're coming to you at the age of 21, 22, 23. Okay, so at the 21, 22, 23, you cannot start learning mathematics to be a great data scientist and great data analyst. You cannot do that. Okay, so you can introduce data analytics, but I mean, my own guess and experience is that they will fail. They will not even clear the courses because of the nature of complexity of the courses and requirement of mathematical and analytical mind. Okay, just analytical mind, abstract analytical thinking is not enough. Okay, so an important thing is a good guidance to them. Good guidance to them in terms of choose a profession that fits you well now, because you are 21, you are not at 16, 17, 18 when you still can learn some fundamentals, but you are at 21 or 22 and 23. So one important aspect is, do institutions communicate enough? Do we communicate enough with them, saying what is your choice at this stage in life? Okay. 2, train them into perseverance. Train them into those job-related challenges which they otherwise don't learn. We need to also get into the background of these students. See, today in India, you are living in a country where all families have one or two child. 1. 2, all children live in a very safe environment, in the sense that they are well taken care of, they're emotionally supported. They really do not struggle to work hard for themselves. They do not struggle to, I mean, from start to finish. You know, I find it very both strange and interesting when you see, even at 21, 22, 23, when your child comes to join your college, the parents come to drop them. You imagine at 21, 22, 23, they are not trusted enough to be able to travel to from one city to another city in India. Okay, so they need to learn emotional independence. They need to learn mental independence. They need to build their conviction in themselves.
Right.
You see, and this is something which a large number of, let's understand this, leave aside those who would probably offer them 15 lakh salary or 18 lakh salary or 20 lakh salary, all other recruiters, they do not evaluate them on their let's say mathematical skills and those skills very rigorously. Because see, even a recruiter doesn't have a choice. Let's understand this. It's not that a recruiter has all free choices. Okay, even a recruiter understands that if I'm not paying 15 lakhs or salary, I do not have access to, let's say, top 20, 30 B schools. They know it. Irrespective of what they might say, at times that we recruit at IIMs and we recruit at all these places. But the fact is, if your compensation is below 8, 9, 10, 15 lakhs, your access is not the top institutions, even as a recruiter. And if you happen to recruit somebody, he will treat you as a parking place. He will put in 1 year, 6 months, 1 year. Okay. So recruiters understand this. But
thank you.
But recruiter needs someone who can be actively dealing with business. So business schools must engage much more with the students than they are doing.
Right. Right, sir. So much to learn from you. A great practitioner and a very dedicated gentleman, Dr. Pramod Kumar. Thank you so much, sir. Now I will request Dr. Khedkar to address us on the possible possible solutions for the employment and employability and the initiatives that he has taken. Dr. Khedkar, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible now?
Kindly go ahead. Oh, sir. Kindly go ahead.
Yes, repeat the question. Please repeat the question.
Yes, sir. As regards employability and employment, what are the initiatives that you have taken at Ajinkya D.Y. Patil, and what do you prescribe could be the solution that could also be taken by all of us in the education fraternity?
Okay. So as far as our university is concerned, and in overall, what needs to be done as far as the employability is concerned and employment is concerned. Okay, the topic is relevant to the three, that is employment, employability, entrepreneurship. I will add one more E, that is education. Okay. There will be 4 E's. It starts from E, education, then employability, employment, and next step will be entrepreneurship. As far as our university is concerned, that different types of skill which we are giving to the students where they will be directly employable. Now, what are the skills? Particularly while designing our curriculum and syllabi, which we have made around 50%, say part will be a practical part. It may be an apprenticeship, it may be an internship. Student has to go to the industry. Say, for example, engineering student or management student or hotel management students, design students, they have to go to the industry at 50% time of their total degree period, and they have to obtain the practical knowledge. The model which is taking place in Germany, model which is taking place in USA, even in China also in some places, such types of, even Japan also, such types of model which we have designed, that student will get a practical exposure. After completing the degree, student will be 100% employable. Unless and until student get a practical knowledge and ready to work, instead of giving a 6-month training or 1-month training when he join the industry is not interested nowadays for such a candidate. If candidate is readily available, then that will be more feasible for them to employ such students. Therefore, here before a speaker, they have talked about skill, and you also talk about us, that is knowledge, attitude, and skills, even habits. Now, these are the part which will play a very important role, how the Indian education system is. Innovation is another one part, because our university's tagline is Innovation University. And therefore, in each and every degree's curriculum, certain part of innovation which we have kept. Student must be a thinker. Student must make some innovations in their area. Must be a critical thinking. All these things play a very, very important role as far as the employability is concerned. Just giving a theoretical knowledge in the class, that will not serve a purpose nowadays in future. If I say, give the example of America, there 50% of their students who are joining a community colleges 2-year degree program, which is a vocational training. This is missing in our country a little bit. It is there, but it is missing. And where this thing is required, Germany's example everybody knows, Japanese example also everybody knows. And therefore, the students are not going in the industry. What is happening in industry now? 12% of our young population, employable students, they are working in the industry, whereas 58% in the agricultural sector, 12% in industry, and China 50% in industry. Whereas in America, 2% only people who are doing their agricultural, India around 58% they are doing the agricultural sector. Therefore, here the problem is about 82.5 million unemployed youth in India are required to repair their skill for employment. And wherever the higher education is going on, very, less people who are going for the higher education, there also we are not giving a proper education, what I feel. And therefore, the role which is made by the private university, deemed university, autonomous colleges, which they have a lot of flexibility to design their curriculum, call many industry people, because industry interaction is very important. Many industry experts, they should give a regular lecture to the students, and then the student will get a practical exposure.
Yes.
This is for the employability skill development. Now, if I go for the employment, automatically employment will take place. Our rule here, unless and until the companies gives 12 lakh minimum package to the student, then we allow the company to enter. And majority of our students also connected with the foreign universities, which we have tied more than 22 top universities, and then our employment also take place in outside India. Therefore, this is for the employment. But further, not only employment, we are also going for a entrepreneurship, because there is some sale which is working specially that we would like to develop our students for the entrepreneurship. And I think around 15 to 20% students, they are opting for the entrepreneurship. They are starting MSMEs and small businesses, and they are getting good. But there is also a problem in our India as far as the shortcomings for the entrepreneur development is concerned. No more institutions are there. Many problems are there. And therefore, the private player, private institutions, private universities, I think they will fill up this gap in future, what I feel.
Yes, sir. Very, very well said, sir. And I think great points to be noted by all of us from a very dynamic educationist. Curriculum has been one of the areas of the way we could have make some changes. The other area of change is getting corporate faculty, getting people from the companies to teach. Of course, we have got academicians who are also doing a good role, but getting corporate faculties is also an excellent initiative, wherein you're taking them closer to employability and making them understand as to what is happening in today's world. Dr. Shirude, Vice Chancellor of Sri Balaji University, with varied experience of more than 40 years, almost 40 years, maybe you could throw light on the initiatives that you're taking in bringing corporate executives to teach students of management. Dr. Shirude, sir.
Yeah. Very nice to hear and see all this galaxy. And at the outset, let me congratulate organizers for organizing this national conclave on 3 E's. To me, 3 E's is nothing but it is the outcome. Outcome in what sense? We give admissions to the students for PG program that is called as MBA. MBA should not be the extension of undergraduate programs. In majority of the, I am not going to blame anybody else, but the system in majority of the institutes, majority of the universities is like this, that the extension like BA, BCom, BSc, that 2 years is nothing but MBA. But this is not called as a MBA. See, it is a professional course. And in all professional courses, one has to be very serious about inculcating excellent habits among the students. Give them a better vision. Give them where they are standing now and where we want to keep them after 2 years. And therefore, one should not say that these are the challenges. Certainly, in Sri Balaji University, challenges are opportunities. Difficulties are opportunities. Rather, our tagline is difficulties are opportunities. And these challenges, particularly in respect of employment, employability, entrepreneur, it is not a new one. It was in past. It is also even today, and it is going to be in future. But if we consider as a difficulty, then convert it into the opportunity. And what exactly the one has to do? See, MBA program or the postgraduate management programs should be the training centers. It should be a finishing school. That is, all these universities, institutes should act as a finishing school. They have to transform the students. And therefore, whenever we say that it is a training center, it is a transformation center, it is a finishing school, Using these words is very simple, but it requires a persistent, consistent efforts from the management side. And efficient and dynamic management always leads to satisfy the goals of the students. And whenever I say like this, see, learning is a lifelong process. Learning never ends. But in management schools, what we have to insist, knowledge plus skills plus hard work plus integrity, and finally attitude, which matters more. And if all these 5 things, if we work more in detail, in depth, and from day one, when the students, they take the admission, and the first class whenever we start, we have to give them the insight of it. And see, consistently if we do it, then certainly it will come out with the better skills, better confidence rather. And see, efforts has to be made to make these students absolute fit as per the corporate requirement. And it never happens within a day. We have to work for 365 days. In Sri Balaji University, you may be surprised, Pramod Kumar is knowing very well. Majority of the people, they know Sri Balaji University. 365 days we work. Can you believe? And it is not that 6 hours and 8 hours, but more than 10 and 12 hours, we keep the student very smartly engaged. And therefore, within these 2 years of span, a students become highly confident. And as Pramod Kumar has very rightly pointed out, see, one should not expect everything from all the students. Every student is having his own ability, his own capacity, his own area of interest. And therefore, we have to find out that, we have to work out that, we have to give them much more inputs as far as their own interest is concerned. And therefore, whenever we talk about the employability, we have to make them employable. It is in our hand. And it is not the classroom curriculum teaching. See, built-in flexibility should be there as far as the policy is concerned. Policy of what? Knowledge building, skill building, life building, man building. And this is possible. And this is what Sri Balaji University proved it since last 2 decades. Not only that, but something more which I would like to say, Ganesh Rao. See, yes, sir. Entrepreneurship, whenever we talk about with innovation, incubation labs, ideas can be converted into products, new ideas. But entrepreneurship is not taught in the class. It should come within. It should be within. वो तो अंदर से आना चाहिए. That is all the MBA students. What is the percentage of the MBA students to becoming entrepreneur from the initial days? No, it's not that simple. First generation, it's very difficult. If it is coming from the business family and joining their business for expansion, to enrich, to enhance, then it's possible. But at the same time, entrepreneurship requires something different. Hatke kaam karna chahiye. They should have the creative eyes. And they have to open their creative eyes. So role of management institutes is to provide them an opportunity to create something new where they can fit more. Now, if we want to talk about where is the employment? See, curriculum is one part, but campus to corporate, industry connect, most important aspect as far as this MBA program is concerned is that of connect to corporates. Every day, one corporate leader has to be interact with the students, and we have to manage accordingly. If this happens, then the students will also see that how corporate works, which are the role models they have to keep in front of them. And therefore, new emerging areas as far as the better employment is concerned is the business analytics, artificial intelligence, then cyber security, data science, machine learning, and so many. Even sports can become a good career as far as MBA programs are concerned. MBAs in sports management, also one of the new era where the students can have a better employment. So finally, what I am going to say, if you produce a gold, it is going to be sold. And to produce the gold is absolutely in our hand. Our Chancellor of Shri Balaji University, Colonel Bala Subramaniam sir, he always says that it is our responsibility to convert these raw mangoes into a sweet Alfonso, and that we can do it. This is our responsibility. So at the end, what I am going to say, students who change after the change will only survive as an average life. Students who change with the change, will succeed. Yes. They will have a better employability. And students who cause the change, who made the change, they will become the entrepreneur. They will become the leader. This is what my submission is. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And your words of wisdom that we all should be encourage change makers. So change makers is what is needed in this society. And we've seen your dynamic activities on campus. Next we have is Mr. Paritosh Sharma. Mr. Paritosh Sharma, you've been working a lot as a Bada Business Initiative on entrepreneurship. Enterprise, having an entrepreneurial attitude is the most important. We in this country, have a different culture. We've been ruled for about 1,000 years by different people. So we have a different mindset. Now, how do you inculcate the quality of enterprise, not only for the sake of entrepreneurship, but also for being an entrepreneurial attitude? Because from the common point that I've drawn from all the 5 speakers is all of them are talking about attitude. Anything entrepreneurial attitude and entrepreneurship. I would request you to throw light on this subject.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rao, and thank you very much the organizers और आप सभी लोग जितने भी students आज हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं, जितने भी educationists आज हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं, आप सभी लोगों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. बोला गया था कि ये कोरोना का समय है, बट हम इसमें नहीं डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, बट मैं ये जरूर बोलूंगा कि दुनिया बदल चुकी है और आज इस अपने सेशन में मैं दोनों से बात करना चाहूंगा, the educationists who are there and who are watching this this entire broadcast live, and students जो आज हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं, जिनका जीवन बहुत तेजी से ऑलरेडी बदल चुका है, ये बदल नहीं रहा है, बदल चुका है, राइट. आने वाले इस पूरे के पूरे सेशन में जो मैं करने वाला हूं, आप लोग बहुत ध्यान से नोट कीजिएगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पे आज स्टूडेंट की जो लाइफ है, जो एंड कंज्यूमर है स्टूडेंट, उसकी लाइफ में उसकी पूरी जर्नी में 3 बड़े मोड़ आते हैं, 3 बड़ी कहानियां क्रिएट होती हैं. या तो वो एक अच्छा एम्प्लॉय बन सकता है, एक अच्छा एंटरप्रेन्योर बन सकता है, या एक अच्छा एंटरप्रेन्योर बन सकता है. अब केवल कैंपस टू कॉर्पोरेट की बात नहीं रही, ये जमाना बदल चुका है. अब कैंपस टू बिजनेस की बात हो रही है, क्योंकि आज बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स का विजन खुल चुका है, वो आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं. तो सबसे पहले मैं इस पूरे सेशन को 3 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करने वाला हूं. सबसे पहले मैं एक विजन एस्टैब्लिश करूंगा जो बड़ा बिजनेस ने रखा है. दूसरी चीज जो मैं बोलूंगा वो कि बड़ा बिजनेस इस विजन को अचीव कैसे कर रहा है, हम क्या स्टेप्स ले रहे हैं. और तीसरी चीज, आई विल फाइनली शेयर हाउ द फ्यूचर ऑफ एजुकेशन कैन बी क्रिएटेड विद कोलैबोरेशन एंड को क्रिएशन. तो सबसे पहले मैं विजन की बात करता हूं. हमारा ओवरऑल जो बड़ा बिजनेस में विजन है वो ऑफ कोर्स भारत में एंटरप्रेन्योर्स क्रिएट करने का है, बट इसका एक सबसेट है. हम चाहते हैं कि अगले 6 महीने के अंदर 10 मिलियन से ज्यादा इंडियन स्टूडेंट्स को हम 21वीं सदी की यानी 21st सेंचुरी स्किल्स इंपार्ट करें. उनको ऐसी एजुकेशन मिलनी चाहिए, ऐसी एजुकेशन से वो एनेबल हो जाए सच दैट दे नो दैट दे आर बीइंग रेडी फॉर द फ्यूचर. और ये हम कर रहे हैं अपने वर्ल्ड क्लास ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम्स के थ्रू. आपको कुछ एग्जांपल देता हूं. हाल में ही हमने कुछ बड़े इंटरेस्टिंग प्रोग्राम्स लॉन्च किए हैं जो स्पेसिफिकली उन स्टूडेंट्स के लिए हैं जो आज वॉनरप्रेन्योर्स हैं. ये वो स्टूडेंट्स हैं जो कुछ करना चाहते हैं, कुछ अचीव करना चाहते हैं, कहीं अटके हुए हैं, कहीं दे आर ऑफ कोर्स ब्लॉक्ड इन देयर ओवरऑल थॉट प्रोसेस, और बट ब्रेक थ्रूज क्रिएट करना चाहते हैं बहुत तेजी से अपनी जिंदगी में. सम प्रोग्राम्स लाइक कैंपस टू बिजनेस, हाउ टू स्टार्ट अ स्टार्टअप, हाउ टू रेज फंड्स, पर्सनैलिटी डेवलपमेंट, द सोलोप्रेन्योर, डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, और भी ऐसे बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम्स. ये प्रोग्राम्स बनाए इसलिए गए हैं क्योंकि अब एजुकेशन बिल्कुल बदल चुकी है. अब वो जमाना ही नहीं रहा. मैं आपको एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल देता हूं. मैंने अपनी पिछली स्टार्टअप जब की थी बड़ा बिजनेस में आने से पहले, वी वर अमंग्स्ट 40,000 कंपनीज दैट अप्लाई टू अ प्रोग्राम जो इंटेल और यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ बर्कली करती है सिलिकॉन वैली में. सिलिकॉन वैली में उस 40,000 उस प्रोग्राम में जो 40,000 कंपनीज अप्लाई करती हैं, उसमें केवल 16 कंपनीज को सिलेक्ट किया जाता है पूरी दुनिया भर से. वो 16 कंपनीज जब वहां पे जाती हैं, विजन खुल जाता है, दुनिया बदल जाती है। और आज कोविड-19 के बाद वैसे भी दुनिया बदल चुकी है, फंडामेंटली सब कुछ चेंज हो चुका है, एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशंस के लिए चेंज हो चुका है और स्टूडेंट्स के लिए भी चेंज हो चुका है। Now comes the second part of my session, which is how are we doing it? Right now, I'm addressing the educationists, and I'm also, of course, addressing some entrepreneurs who want to understand कि हो क्या रहा है आखिर दुनिया में। तो बड़ा बिजनेस में जिस तरीके से हम ट्रैक करते जा रहे हैं, बहुत सारे ट्रेंड्स को हम देख रहे हैं, देश दुनिया के लोगों के साथ हम काम करते हैं, बड़ी बड़ी रिसर्च फर्म्स लाइक KPMG, EY, we work with some of the best subject matter experts, not just from India, in fact दुनिया भर से। स्टैनफोर्ड, हार्वर्ड, जो हमारे पर एक केस स्टडी भी कर रहा है, हम दुनिया भर के लोगों के साथ काम कर रहे हैं और स्पेसिफिक प्रोग्राम्स क्रिएट कर रहे हैं। ये प्रोग्राम्स केवल एजुकेशन नहीं है, केवल वही एजुकेशन नहीं है जो आज मिल रही है बच्चों को, ये वो एजुकेशन है जो उनको चाहिए और चाहिए ही चाहिए। दिस इज द फ्यूचर, दिस इज इट। सेकेंड पॉइंट दैट आई वुड लाइक टू पुट अक्रॉस इज दैट हमने जो अपना प्रोग्राम बनाया, विच इज कैंपस टू कॉर्पोरेट या कैंपस टू बिजनेस एक्चुअली जिसको हम कहते हैं, वो हमने केवल अपने साथ या अपने कुछ सब्जेक्ट मैटर एक्सपर्ट्स के साथ नहीं बनाया। वी एक्चुअली वेंट टू, जो अभी कुछ एजुकेशनिस्ट ने बोला भी मेरे सेशन से पहले कि कॉर्पोरेट का होना बहुत जरूरी है, दैट एवरी डे देयर मस्ट बी समबडी फ्रॉम द कॉर्पोरेट हु शुड कम एंड टीच द स्टूडेंट्स। सो आप जरा सोचिए कि आचार्य बालकृष्ण और पतंजलि, जिन्होंने 10,000 करोड़ या 20,000 करोड़ का इतना बड़ा एक एम्पायर क्रिएट किया राइट फ्रॉम द वेरी स्क्रैच, वो इस प्रोग्राम में आते हैं और वो बताते हैं कि जब मैं हायर करता हूँ पतंजलि में, तो मैं क्या कॉम्पिटेंसीज देखता हूँ, वो 21st सेंचुरी कॉम्पिटेंसीज क्या है। अरविंद लाल ऑफ डॉक्टर लाल पैथ लैब्स, ही कम्स ऑन बोर्ड एंड ही टेल्स यू। संजीव बजाज ऑफ बजाज कैपिटल, ही कम्स ऑन बोर्ड एंड ही टेल्स यू एज अ प्रोफेसर। केवल एक वीडियो में नहीं, एज अ प्रोफेसर वो आते हैं और वो आपको समझाते हैं कि मुझे क्या चाहिए आपसे, क्या स्पेसिफिक स्किल सेट्स चाहिए, क्या स्पेसिफिक कॉम्पिटेंसीज चाहिए। और हर बच्चा, एवरी स्टूडेंट दैट इज वाचिंग दिस सेशन, नोट कर लीजिए कि 21st सेंचुरी स्किल सेट्स आपके लिए क्रिटिकल है। और एंड ऑफ द सेशन में आपको एक मैसिव एक्शन प्लान भी दूंगा आप सभी के लिए, सच दैट यू कैन एक्चुअली इंप्लीमेंट समथिंग आउट ऑफ दिस सेशन। हम बड़ा बिजनेस की हर एक वीडियो में देते हैं ये मैसिव एक्शन प्लान। तीसरी इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है दैट आजकल बहुत सारे एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं जो आज बड़ा बिजनेस के साथ कोलैबोरेट करके को क्रिएट कर रहे हैं बच्चों का फ्यूचर। ये भारत देश का फ्यूचर को क्रिएट हो रहा है। इसका आपको एक बहुत बड़ा एग्जांपल देता हूं जिससे आपको आई एम श्योर समझ आएगा कि ये को क्रिएशन या कोलैबोरेशन पर मैं इतना स्ट्रेस क्यों दे रहा हूं। रिलायंस एक ऐसी बड़ी कंपनी है जिसका नाम सभी ने सुना होगा, और अभी हाल में ही रिलायंस की 43rd AGM हुई है। सबसे पहली ऑनलाइन इंटरनेट पे AGM हुई। आपने मुकेश अंबानी जी को वहां पे सुना होगा। ही यूज्ड a very important word. He said that we are going to become a collaborative company. इसका एक बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग एग्जांपल है, जब गूगल ने भी हाल में रिलायंस में रिलायंस जियो प्लेटफॉर्म्स में अपनी इन्वेस्टमेंट अनाउंस की, तो रिलायंस ने ये नहीं कहा कि हम एक नया ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम लॉन्च करने वाले हैं जो जियो फोन्स में होगा। उन्होंने कहा कि हम गूगल के साथ कोलैबोरेट करके एक ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम बिल्ड करेंगे ओवर द एंड्रॉइड प्लेटफॉर्म। सो ये जो कोलैबोरेशन और को क्रिएशन की जर्नी होती है, ये बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग जर्नी है और यही फ्यूचर है, यही जमाना है। पर ये जर्नी स्टार्ट कहां से होती है, इस बात को आप समझिएगा। एंड दिस इज माय पॉइंट टू ऑल द एजुकेशनिस्ट्स हु आर देयर ऑन दिस प्लेटफॉर्म टुडे, या जो भी देख रहे हैं इस पूरे सेशन को। ये जर्नी की शुरुआत होती है प्लेटफॉर्म से, और प्लेटफॉर्म होती है टेक्नोलॉजी। तो प्लेटफॉर्म एक ऐसी चीज है जैसे कि फेसबुक, लिंक्डइन, यूट्यूब, ट्विटर, ये सारे आज प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं। तो बड़ा बिजनेस ने एग्जैक्टली ऐसा ही एक प्लेटफॉर्म क्रिएट किया है जिसको हम कहते हैं लर्निंग मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम। बहुत सारे सॉफ्टवेयर्स आज तक एग्जिस्ट करते आ रहे थे, बट किसी भी सॉफ्टवेयर ने प्लेटफॉर्म बेस्ड अप्रोच नहीं ली थी। तो आज हमारा लर्निंग मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज यूज कर रही हैं, और एंड ऑफ कोर्स आने वाले समय में बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज, एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशंस इसको यूज करेंगे, क्योंकि हमें समझ आ चुका है कि प्लेटफॉर्म हम बनाएंगे तो आप हमारे कोलैबोरेटिव पार्टनर्स हैं, ताकि एंड रिजल्ट स्टूडेंट्स की जिंदगी चेंज हो जाए। तो हमने वो प्लेटफॉर्म बनाया, बहुत ऑफ कोर्स उसमें इन्वेस्टमेंट की, बोथ फ्रॉम द रिसर्च पर्सपेक्टिव एज वेल एज ऑफ कोर्स फाइनेंशियल इन्वेस्टमेंट दैट हैज गॉन इन। अब तो ये तो मेरा ऑफ कोर्स एक डिलिबरेशन था, एक पॉइंट ऑफ थॉट था सभी के सभी एजुकेशनिस्ट्स के लिए, कि आपको भी सोचना होगा स्टूडेंट्स को कैसे आप डिलीवर करेंगे एट स्केल, नॉट जस्ट द स्टूडेंट्स हु आर पार्ट ऑफ योर कॉलेज। तो एक तो हो गया कि फिजिकल एजुकेशन, जो आज ऑफ कोर्स कोरोना के समय में नहीं हो पा रही है। यूएस में सम ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट यूनिवर्सिटीज हैव शट शॉप, राइट, बट ऑनलाइन मोड में आप कैसे स्टूडेंट्स को एंगेज करेंगे? हाउ वुड यू लेट द स्टूडेंट्स स्टडी एट देयर ओन पेस एंड स्टिल बी एबल टू बी रेडी फॉर द वर्ल्ड, रेडी टू फेस द फ्यूचर? और अब मैं समय को रखकर, क्योंकि ऑफ कोर्स यू नो there's time for many other speakers as well, समय को रखकर मैं आप सभी स्टूडेंट्स को, जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स ये सेशन देख रहे हैं, मैं आपको 10 पॉइंट्स देने वाला हूं। कोशिश करूंगा जल्दी से जल्दी इन 10 पॉइंट्स को मैं कवर करूं। ये 10 एक्शन पॉइंट्स हैं, तो आपको ये सेशन खत्म करने के बाद ये एक्शन पॉइंट्स लेने हैं, बहुत क्रिटिकल है आपके करियर के लिए। सबसे पहला पॉइंट मैं बोलूंगा, दैट गेट योरसेल्फ अ गुरु और अ मेंटोर दैट शोज यू योर पाथ। आज कंफ्यूजन बहुत है, क्लैरिटी नहीं मिल पा रही है आप लोगों को, तो गुरु या एक मेंटर का होना बहुत जरूरी है आपकी जिंदगी में। डॉक्टर विवेक बिंद्रा की लाइफ में भी गुरु या मेंटर रहे फ्रॉम द इस्कॉन इकोसिस्टम एंड ऑफ कोर्स उनकी अपनी प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में। मेरे लिए डॉक्टर विवेक बिंद्रा इज अ गुरु और अ मेंटर, एंड ऑफ कोर्स मेरी प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में और भी मेरे कुछ सब गुरुज और सब मेंटर्स रहे हैं। यू मस्ट हैव इट। Point number 2, the world has changed. It is not changing, it has changed already. आंखें खोलिए अपनी, सारे के सारे स्टूडेंट्स। अब वो जमाना नहीं रहा जब आप MBA करके आपको एक बड़ी नौकरी मिल जाएगी। अब वो जमाना नहीं रहा कि आप कोई भी एक कोर्स करके एक जॉब में जा सकते हैं। अब साइबर सिक्योरिटी सब कुछ खत्म कर सकती है, 10 सेकंड के अंदर अंदर एक कंपनी बंद हो सकती है। साइबर सिक्योरिटी, रोबोटिक्स, ऑटोमेशन, बिग डेटा, AI, ML is fundamentally changing everything. When I was in Silicon Valley, मैंने गूगल के कैंपस में अपने सामने सेल्फ ड्राइविंग कार देखी। जब आप कार अपने सामने खुद चलती हुई देखते हैं ना, आपका दिमाग हमेशा के लिए रिवायर हो जाता है। Right? So everything has changed. Be ready for it. Change नहीं हो रहा, change हो चुका है। Point number 3, अब competencies को build करने का जमाना आ गया है। अब सिर्फ rote education नहीं लेनी, आपको competencies build करनी है। तो आप 21वीं सदी की यानी 21st century की जो सबसे important competencies है, उसकी लिस्ट आप badabusiness.com पे जाके लीजिए। आप मिस्टर गगन भूटानी या हमारे और भी जो पार्टनर्स हैं उनके पास आप जा सकते हैं। आप उनसे पूछिए कि किस तरीके से वो 21st century skills कौन सी हैं और हम कैसे बड़ा बिजनेस से उन स्किल्स को अक्वायर कर सकते हैं, समझ सकते हैं, ले सकते हैं। मेरा 4th पॉइंट है इंटर्न एंड इनोवेट। ध्यान सुनिए मेरी बात को। इंटर्न यानी इंटर्नशिप। ये इंटर्नशिप केवल वो नहीं है जो आपका कॉलेज आपको कर रहे हैं, वो कह रहे हैं। इंटर्नशिप वो है, मैंने सिलिकॉन वैली में बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग कल्चर देखा था, दैट बड़े इंटरेस्टिंग प्रोफेशनल्स, स्टूडेंट्स जो एक्चुअली कॉलेजेस में पढ़ रहे हैं, वो शाम को जाके स्टार्टअप्स के साथ अपना टाइम स्पेंड करते हैं फ्री में। वो कहते हैं मुझे सिर्फ इंटर्नशिप चाहिए, मुझे समझना है कि किसी रोल में होता क्या है। अभी भी वन ऑफ द पैनलिस्ट एक्चुअली स्पोक अबाउट कि स्टूडेंट्स को रोल्स की क्लैरिटी नहीं है। ऑफ कोर्स आज बड़ा बिजनेस हमारे कंपनी में कोविड-19 के टाइम पे भी हमने बहुत सीनियर हायरिंग की है। हमारे पास आज 340 से ज्यादा लोग हैं फुल टाइम इन द कंपनी। 1000 से ज्यादा हमारे ऑफिसेज हैं पूरे भारत देश के अंदर। ये इतनी तेजी से जो ग्रोथ हो रही है वो हो इसलिए रही है बिकॉज पीपल आर इंटर्निंग एंड पीपल आर इनोवेटिंग। सो इनोवेट फास्ट, थिंक बेटर। मेरा 5th पॉइंट है थिंक बिग, बड़ा सोचिए। स्टूडेंट लाइफ एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग टाइम होता है और ये मेरा 6th पॉइंट है, जब आप रिस्क ले सकते हैं। आप छोटे फाइनेंशियल रिस्क ले सकते हैं। आपके कॉलेज में आपके एक्सेलरेटर्स होंगे, एजुकेशनल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप सेल्स होंगे, आप उनसे फंडिंग लीजिए एंड इनोवेट, टेक मोर रिस्क्स, create new things. मेरा 7th point है, there is nothing called failure. Move on faster. The world is not going to end tomorrow. So move on faster. 8th point is create your personal brand. One of the educationists also said that it is important. So please create your personal brand. Build a solid personality. और इसीलिए हमने personality development पे एक पूरा का पूरा कोर्स बना दिया है ताकि आपको समझ आए end to end depth में जाके personality जरूरी क्यों है। My 9th point is meditate. इतनी सारी एनर्जी जो मैं आज आपके सामने डिस्प्ले कर रहा हूं, ये एनर्जी केवल इस सेशन के लिए नहीं है, ये एनर्जी कंसिस्टेंटली ऐसी रहती है। डॉक्टर विवेक बिंद्रा जब स्टेज पर आएंगे तो वो तो एक कंप्लीटली नए अवतार में होंगे। ये मेडिटेशन के कारण होती है। बिल्ड अ सॉलिड इंटीरियर। स्वामी रामदेव के मैं सेशंस देखता हूँ रोज सुबह 4 बजे उठ के, जब फेसबुक पे उनका लाइव आता है उनके अपने आचार्य कुलम से। दैट जेंटलमैन एट हिज एज इज एबल टू डू 10 पुशअप्स इन 5 सेकंड्स, जो अच्छे बच्चे यंग बच्चे नहीं कर पाते। राइट, दैट्स कॉल्ड सॉलिड इनर कोर। ये आपको बिल्ड करना जरूरी है। मेरा 10वां और आखिरी पॉइंट है टेक एक्शन। अब सोचने का समय नहीं रहा, अगर आप सोचते रह गए तो बहुत पीछे रह जाएंगे। और अब आपको मैं 3 एक्शन पॉइंट्स दे रहा हूं कि आपको एक्शन लेने क्या है। मैंने टेक एक्शन तो बोल दिया, तो 3 इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स। सबसे पहली चीज, स्टार्ट इन्वेस्टिंग इन बिल्डिंग कॉम्पिटेंसीज। 21वीं सदी की जो कॉम्पिटेंसीज है उनको नोट डाउन कर लीजिए, स्टार्ट इन्वेस्टिंग इन देम। तो आप हो सकते हैं एक मैनेजमेंट के स्टूडेंट हैं, बट इफ डेटा इज द फ्यूचर यू विल हैव टू चेंज योरसेल्फ। अगर आपके मैनेजमेंट के कोर्स में डेटा एनालिटिक्स या डेटा एज अ सब्जेक्ट नहीं है, आपको समझना होगा। रिलायंस ने भी समझा, आज RIL जैसी कंपनी रिलायंस जियो प्लेटफॉर्म्स बन चुकी है, प्लेटफॉर्म, एंड दैट इज व्हाई 1 महीने या 2 महीने के अंदर अंदर नेट डेट फ्री कंपनी हो चुकी है। 1,58,000 करोड़ रुपया रेस किया है, प्लेटफॉर्म बन गए। So be ready for this. Second action point, build speed. ऐसी सिचुएशंस अब आपके सामने रोज आने वाली हैं। कभी कोरोना हो जाएगा, दुनिया बंद हो जाएगी, कभी कभी कुछ भी चेंज हो जाएगा. At any given point of time, the world will fundamentally change for you, right? So build speed. जल्दी काम करना होगा. जितनी जल्दी करोगे, उतनी जल्दी fail होगे, learn करोगे, आगे बढ़ोगे. So build speed. Point number 3, action point for you is reach out to badabusiness.com and get started. आपको अब वो समय लेना है, वो एक्शन लेना है कि एवरीथिंग अबाउट एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का जो प्रोग्राम है, कैंपस टू बिजनेस का जो प्रोग्राम है, जो आप अपने कॉलेज के साथ भी ले सकते हैं एक्चुअली, वो प्रोग्राम्स आप लीजिए और स्टार्ट कीजिए अभी. This is very, very important for your future. I know it because I realized जब मैं सिलिकॉन वैली में था और मैं वहां पे इन्वेस्टर्स को पिच कर रहा था, मैं फंड नहीं रेज कर पाया था अपनी कंपनी के लिए, मैं भारत वापस आया और मैं रुका नहीं. मैंने भारत को समझा, मुझे बड़ा बिजनेस में एक बहुत बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली डॉक्टर विवेक बिंद्रा के कारण, और आज एक बहुत बड़ा फ्यूचर बिल्ड कर पा रहा हूँ, केवल अपने लिए नहीं, मिलियंस ऑफ भारत एंटरप्रेन्योर्स और स्टूडेंट्स के लिए. यही विजन आपको भी देखना है. आई विश यू ऑल द लक. थैंक यू वेरी वेरी मच ऑल द एजुकेशनिस्ट एंड ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स फॉर लिसनिंग टू मी. आपको जाते जाते यही बोलूंगा दैट स्टे सेफ, स्टे हेल्दी एंड जय हिंद. थैंक यू.
Mr. Paritosh, thanks for the highly energetic presentation that you made, and a lot of good advice for youngsters. I think we need more people like you to be around. We have next with us Dr. Sushma Kulkarni from RIT. Madam, in Western Maharashtra, in the very tough areas of Western Maharashtra, a very challenging area, would like to know what are the initiatives that you have taken in improving the employability and the employment. I will just tell you on a different note that we at Midcon Institute of Management to encourage more of employability and employment and to make industry-ready people. We run our courses, our management programs sectorially. So we have got agribusiness management program, we got pharmaceutical management, we got biopharma, and we got rural management. In this way, we are closer to the industry, and that our students can start performing from day one. Similarly, from your side, you are also doing something more similar. I would like to know what initiatives you have taken in boosting the employment and entrepreneurship and employability in Western Maharashtra. Madam, please take the stage.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Rao. So just now we have heard Paritosh and an excellent energetic talk, and I've heard all the educators also. So all of us have the same goal in mind, that whatever graduates who pass out through our education system are either employed or they become entrepreneurs. And going ahead in Rajaram Bapu Institute of Technology, what we have thought is, can we develop research and consultancy culture in these graduates, a research aptitude? Because it is said that we take a lot of technology, we buy the technologies from outside India, and we end up paying more money to them. So why not create in India? So that research aptitude also needs to be developed during their formative age of 4 years of engineering, what they do in RIT. So what we have done is we have emphasized these 3 outcomes, and based on these 3 outcomes, our curriculum has been developed for the 4 years. So right from first year, we are encouraging the courses that encourage entrepreneurship development. So in first year, we have choice-based entrepreneurship development course. And we have woven this ED course in 4 years so that the students who come with entrepreneurship aptitude or who have a background or who think they would like to be entrepreneurs in future, they choose right from first year one of the courses as entrepreneurship development. And the same group can continue in the second year. Second year also we are offering choice-based entrepreneurship development course. Third year they take mini projects, and final year, 7th and 8th semester, they actually work on their product, prepare a business plan, and prepare a report which can be given for funding to any financial agency. So we have a full ecosystem in our institute, right from first year to final year, to support the students because see, entrepreneurship is something which is not developed in one day. You need time for that child to think, develop the capabilities, all the characteristics which Mr. Paritosh just now said. So that is not developed in a day. You have to give time, They have to fail, they have to think, they have to fall down, they have to rise up, all those sort of experiences have to be given. And education is all about giving experiences. Okay. So that's how we develop entrepreneurs. Coming to the researchers. So for researcher also, from first year, we give them engineering exploration course, where the students from first year identify the need of the nearby society or the community around them. And first year students actually go to the fields, agricultural fields, or because our college is located in a village, in a rural area. So they actually go and move amongst the sugarcane harvester labor force, those who stay in small, I'll say, hutments. So they move around, they see the problems faced by them. Like one of the students worked on, when he had gone to dhaba, he saw that person was full into, waters. His eyes were watering when he was cutting onion. So that student developed a very beautiful onion cutting machine so that the person who is chopping onion does not suffer. So that sensitivity has to be developed in our students to identify the problem. So right from first year, they develop prototypes. The important is they develop prototype, develop a product, and it is designed in a very different way. So they develop research aptitude through projects, mini projects till the final year. And the third is jobs in industries. So for jobs in industry, the curriculum is designed in such a way that we try to make them a holistic personality by offering them personality development courses which are choice-based. You can take leadership course, you can take work-life balance course. Work-life balance course is such an interesting course, that the students actually learn what is happiness. Like one of the speakers said, it's all about happiness. So they actually learn what is happiness, how to face their own problems, be strong inside. So through JVM, we have taken that course, Jeevan Vidya Mission, and since it's choice-based, I see more than 50% students taking up that course. So that's the need of time. So it's not all about technology, it's all about a good human being. It's all about peace engineering, people say. So these are the 3 tracks we have been focusing, especially entrepreneurship track. We have done very well because now we have our own student entrepreneurs through this process which we have developed. At present, we have 7 startups, technical and non-technical, and we are providing them office space. We are providing them whatever ecosystem support is required. It's built up in such a way, and luckily we have got funding from Maharashtra State Innovation Society and MSME. So through that, we are able to fund even the Samruddhi scheme of AICT. So through this funding, we are able to support the ideas of students. And of course, as you all know, we have first generation engineers who are coming for education. So one of the speakers said, it's difficult for them to raise money, or the main requirement is the moment you complete your engineering, you should take up a job and earn money for the family. So that constraint, sometimes what we do is we support that student. Okay, we'll pay you 15,000 per month, and you give us back when your business, let's say. This type of support, when you give at the ground level, then I think this Make Up India, Startup India, entrepreneurship, these dreams can come true. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mrs. Kulkarni, for the wonderful initiatives that you're taking in an area of Western Maharashtra. We have got 3 more speakers, so we'll take just 3 to 4 minutes each and complete the panel discussion very quickly. We have with us Dr. Anil Rao, Director of Wellington Institute, Bangalore, a chartered accountant, and has been conducting a number of management development programs, working very closely with the industry. Dr. Anil Rao, I would like to know what kind of initiatives you have been taking for furthering employability programs and entrepreneurship programs in Karnataka area. Quickly, sir, kindly take over.
Good afternoon, Ganesh, and good afternoon, everyone, participants of today's panel of Campus to Corporate, topic being Challenges of Employment, Employability, and Entrepreneurship, and Solutions thereof. Thank you, Ganesh, Uma, Sachin, for having me on this panel. Having worked with corporates like Mahindra's and Arvind Group and spent considerable time as Dean of Wellington Institute of Management, Bangalore campus, I would like to begin by talking my personal belief One, I personally believe that to ensure your institute is doing good with its employment and entrepreneurship, I call it EQ or Triple E, there has to be a strong strategic intent. Management of business schools should feel and do the E-Cube as part of their DNA. Now, there are other initiatives from government and corporates too who would like to force fit this agenda in our strategic intent. However, we are hoping that business schools around India should engulf entrepreneurship, which is need of the hour. The National Innovation and Startup Policy 2019 of MHRD will create a new normal within higher education institutions in India to promote entrepreneurship and incubation in and around India for sure. When I'm making the opening remark of strategic intent, we at Wellinkers, with our leadership of Dr. Uday Salunke, our group director, have taken various initiatives, and I would like to speak about those initiatives. We believe
sir,
that.
May I just interrupt, sir?
Yeah.
That the time we have booked online, we are running short of that, sir. So
yeah, I have only 4 minutes allotted. I hope that is okay.
Sir, please.
I'll complete in 4 minutes.
Sir, please.
Yeah. So we believe that with strategic intent to enable the cube, the 3-cube, E-cube, what you mentioned, faculty can make only this possible. And I believe that empowering faculty is of essence. And the first initiative in recent times we took was the T3 model for faculty, which is a train the trainer model. The strategic investments to ensure we co-created a unique program with global leaders, namely Center for Creative Leadership, CCL, and Design Impact, evolved our global leadership, citizen leadership program. Now, this T3 model of faculty training from CCL and DI is now an integral part of our curriculum and our course. The global citizen leadership program ensures that students, corporate society are at the center focus. There is a process where we school signs up with live corporate challenges, social challenges, startup issues, and using design thinking methodology, the solution building is anchored by students, faculty, and industry and external mentors. Apart from global citizen leadership, faculty have been sponsored to get into global colloquiums like Harvard, ITP, Linus Palme scholarships, and many more. Faculty constantly are involved in collaborating with corporates for case study development, or maybe research documents, research developments, executive programs assessment, development centers, roundtables, and discussion on panels of CII, NHRD, etc. Now, thereby bringing loads of newness of faculty content, pedagogy, and the objective of preparing students to meet the 3E-cube or E3Es, which we are talking about. Another strategic intent of having a program on design, that is business design and innovation in Wellinker, is a unique program in India. Now, give students the exposure to think, do, by design. The innovation lab, I just heard Dr. Shushma Kulkarni also talk about creating innovation ecosystem, which is amazing. And we do have in V School a similar incubation lab, innovation lab, and a prototype lab, which enables students to create its own business models, innovative prototypes, and finally testing their skills and ensuring that they are ready to have an exhibition which people appreciate and try to see if they have done well. Now, during pandemic, almost all students were given internship on virtual mode, mentoring by faculty and industry mentors. Now, they are now at ease to use collaborative platforms. The new normal created innovative engagement with students. Apart from webinars from various leaders across the globe, which everybody must have taken charge, our career management cell created a yet interesting format of career cafe and brunch with the boss, enabling students to get a deep dive into new skills required in various sectors of industry. And I'm sure this will give students and confidence, the confidence of readiness with respect to employability, employment, and entrepreneurship. I'm sure today's panel have been talking about newness of things. There's a lot to be done, a lot to be learned with regard to best practices and next practices during this pandemic. And I'm sure we'll have better solutions for ensuring there is employability, employment, and entrepreneurship in business schools and institutions and universities going forward. Thank you so much, Ganesh.
Thank you, Dr. Anil, for the quick talk. We're running out of time. We got 5 minutes more, and we got 2 speakers. So, Mr. Vivek Bindra, we are waiting for his address. So, before we go ahead, I'd like to take on the next speaker from Vijay Bhumin University, Dr. Navneet Sharma. from Vijay Bhumi University, a very new university, which is coming up very quickly. Quickly, sir, what are your plans about solving this problem of employability in the country, and what are the initiatives that you propose to take? A very quick one, sir, and because we are running short of time, we got a vast treasure of speakers, and I think they are all encyclopedias themselves. And sir, kindly take it.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak this afternoon to along with a distinguished panel and a equally distinguished gathering. It's a great pleasure to be here. Since the time is short, I will try to keep it very, very crisp. In terms of employment, there's only one point I want to mention to everybody here, that graduates of today will not have the careers what their forefathers had. They're likely to have 4 to 5 careers in their professional life going forward. It is not possible that they will end up working in one particular job role, one particular sector. So therefore, for educators today, the key challenge is how do you prepare for the unknown? The industries are being disrupted. The way from barber to surgeon, the way jobs are being overtaken by machinery. Therefore, humans are now in a situation where they are expected to work with machines equally well as they were expected to work with other human beings. That's the fundamental change which is happening in the industry structures. Therefore, the education cannot remain unchanged with that. That's the first point about employment we have to consider if we are talking about this seriously. Sir. The second point we have to consider in terms of education is no amount of education can really alter your fundamental core. So therefore, any academic design, any curriculum design, unless it allows you self-exploration, unless it allows self-discovery, your choice of subjects you study and your choice of career shall remain suboptimal. Therefore, self-discovery is at the core of all education. To quote famous Professor Howard Gardner of Harvard University, self-discovery is the eternal source of motivation and strength. So at Vijay Bhumi, what we have done is, when you land at the university at the first year, all you do is discover yourself. You choose courses from 8 different baskets, so that on the 8 different smartnesses or intelligences as defined by Howard Gardner, you discover your core strength, and then you choose what you want to study and what you want to work in. So therefore, that fundamental alignment problem is what Vijay Bhumi is bringing to the table. So that's the uniqueness of it is like eating a thali versus choosing your own food in a buffet. That is the fundamental difference which Vijay Bhumi University is bringing. On the entrepreneurship, since I'm acutely alive to the fact that time is limited, so therefore, on the entrepreneurship, I would say only 3 questions. Number 1, check yourself through small time experiments when you're still at the campus. Can you identify sweet spots? That's first question. Can you identify sweet spots, areas which are either unserved or underserved? If you can identify one such area, you have in you to be an entrepreneur. Number 2, can you execute? Because strategizing is much easier. Execution is much harder. Can you execute? Start executing small projects and you will know how great your execution skills are. Number 3, can you take risks? If you can, perhaps entrepreneurship is the right track for you. At Vijay Bhumi, we not only allow self-discovery, we allow you to choose courses from all different buckets, all different schools, all different areas, and therefore that self-discovery feeds into right education, and right education feeds into right career. That is the fundamental alignment which we bring at the Vijay Bhumi University, and great pleasure to introduce the university to all of you. And thank you very much, Dr. Rao, for this opportunity, and to the organizers.
Thank you, Dr. Navneet Sharma. I think we should have an exclusive session with you on the very dynamic initiatives that your university is taking. Okay, thank you so much. And the last speaker that we have is Mr. Pran Mehta from the Rotary. Now, actually, Rotary is a very noble organization. I've been a past president of Rotary Club. So may I request Mr. Pran Mehta to quickly throw light on initiatives that Rotary is being taking. Okay, Rotary actually needs to be, above everything. It's such a noble organization. Please, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Though time is limited,
yes,
but my approach is slightly different. I will go down to the grassroots of education. And I'd just like to mention here that my association with Dr. Vivek a decade ago, in our underprivileged section of society, as you all see today, the entire world is passionate to serve. And I just say that he benefits who serves the most. After a very successful professional, some of us joined to connect schools here in Delhi. Schools, children. Our members in Rotary in governing municipal primary schools. Today, 5 years' time, there are several thousands of schools across the country where Rotary has extended their help to education to village children. Rotary India Literacy Mission has eradicated illiteracy in the next 5 years. Program T is for teach and E is for e-learning, E is for e-learning, and A for what is that? A is for something, and C is for child development, and H is for happy schools. A is for adult literacy, sorry. So basically, with this in mind, we have approached these various schools. And after the success of eradicating polio from the world, literacy is one of the main verticals where Rotary is focusing. While literacy is important, no doubt, yet education, especially to the child, cannot be overlooked. For this, our teachers have to be tuned to passionately serve with patience and with love. The speaker who spoke a little earlier, that there are a lot of platforms which are available. But my question here would be that we have to serve with a lot of jazba, with a lot of interest. And our gentleman, Mr. Bhatnagar, also spoke about various aspects. One thing which, of course, is very important is that we have to satisfy the customer. Now, this is something very important. And therefore, keeping this in mind, that the concept of theory of knowledge, where the student has to learn the ideas of knowledge beyond the classroom. Many of us have talked about it so far. In the times today, the teachers, especially municipal schools, are facing a lot of challenge. They are very trained teachers. They are paid handsome salary by the government. The government is giving them good schools. They're giving them free uniforms, midday meal, etc. Of course, the midday meal has to be improved. We are working on that also through Rotary. But keeping all this in mind, yet the parent would say that you like to remove a child from a government municipal school and take him to a private school. Gentlemen, this concept has to change. And believe me, my friends, this is not difficult. If only some of us who are blessed come forward to offer their help to govern this most important aspect of building our nation, to give the best to these young children who are the future of the nation.
Yes.
So
thank you so
Rotary
much,
has a fully transparent platform to set apart this program. However, we still need all your help for the selfless service. You and your colleagues are welcome to join, of course, our friend Mr. Bindra. And we wish you all the best nation building program. Thank you so much, Jai Hind and Namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much for your kind and quick talk. We had a great discussion, 10 panelists, huge amount of information, lot of learnings for all of us. And it has been summed up by all of us in a very nice manner. So thank you so much, all of you, for your kind time. And Dr. Bindra, one last question for you. We are a country, a very complex country, with regionally some places are very strong in employment, some are strong in entrepreneurship, some are strong in civil services. I would like you to throw light. How can we learn from each other? How can we learn from each other? Because these kind of a collaborative platforms that you helped us, education is coming together and discussing about each other and learning so much either, because the knowledge is in with each of us. Let's share. Thank you so much, and best wishes to all.
Right. I'd like to introduce Dr. Bindra, the moment we all have been looking forward to. Let's welcome the most effective motivator of all time, Dr. Vivek Bindra. He's the founder and CEO of Bada Business. Now, when the youth of today finds himself lost and unable to set his goal or seek his purpose, he needs, like Arjuna did, a Sarthi who will show him the path by teaching him not about the world, but about his own inner self, about personal change. And such is Dr. Bindra, the Masiha of motivation, a motivational speaker and business coach par excellence. Once he starts talking his high energy, it ensures that you focus and you listen with rapt attention. You will want to believe. And soon enough, you will believe that you can do better, be better. Dr. Bindra, looking forward to this session with you. Over to you, sir.
हर सदी में कोई एक ऐसा इंसान आता है जो अपने जज्बे से दुनिया का रुख बदल देता है, जिसने फुटपाथ पर डिक्शनरीज बेचकर पढ़ाई का खर्चा निकाला और आज बड़े बड़े बिजनेस टाइकून्स उसे कंसल्ट करके डिसीजंस लेते हैं। अनफिट एज अ ट्रेनर बोलकर कंपनीज ने जिसको रिजेक्ट किया था, आज वो एशिया का नंबर 1 मोटिवेशनल स्पीकर का अवार्ड जीत चुका है। और एक ऐसे बिजनेस कोच जिनकी लर्निंग्स अपनाकर कितने ही डूबते हुए बिजनेस और स्टार्टअप्स अपने पैरों पर खड़े हो गए और आज लाखों करोड़ों में खेल रहे हैं।
So, may I speak now, or is there any other further announcement happening? Oh, thank you. अच्छा ठीक है, धन्यवाद. Thank you. Namaskar, मैं विवेक बिंद्रा, founder and CEO badabusiness.com. Before I move forward, I'd like to ask the moderators and the panelists, कितना समय है मेरे पास बोलने के लिए, सर? Can somebody quickly tell me कितना समय है मेरे पास बोलने के लिए?
Sir, we have plenty of time, sir.
अच्छा, ठीक है, but I'll still like to keep myself quick and short. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
धन्यवाद आप सबको, बधाई. देवर वंडरफुल स्पीकर्स है और बहुत सारी ऑडियंस है. एजुकेशन सिस्टम पे हम बात कर रहे हैं. आज 5,500 कॉलेजेस है हमारे देश में. 3 करोड़ स्टूडेंट्स आज यूनिवर्सिटी एजुकेशन के लिए अप्लाई कर रहे हैं. पर एसोचैम की रिपोर्ट बहुत पॉपुलर हो चुकी है. वो रिपोर्ट बहुत वायरल हो गई जिसमें बताया गया कि 93% एमबीए ग्रेजुएट्स अनएम्प्लॉयबल है. महंगे कॉलेज के लिए वो 20 लाख रुपए का लोन लेके आता है एक स्टूडेंट. वो लोन बहुत मुश्किल से मिलता है उसको, और उसके बाद 148% एनपीए बढ़ गया. वो लोन नहीं चुका पाता क्योंकि उसको अच्छी जॉब नहीं मिलती है. ऑटोमेशन, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, लीन मैनेजमेंट, प्रोसेस ओरिएंटेशन बढ़ जाने से जॉब्स घटती जा रही है. एक अगर एवरेज बी स्कूल है तो वहां से पास आउट होने के बाद 10 से 20 हजार रुपए की भी नौकरी लगनी मुश्किल हो रही है. अगर 10-12 हजार की नौकरी लग भी जाती है तो मेट्रो सिटी के अंदर एक चौकीदार की, सिक्योरिटी गार्ड की तनख्वाह उससे ज्यादा है. मैं जानता हूं कठोर है ये. आई नो इट इज डिफिकल्ट टू हियर एंड डाइजेस्ट, बट विद ऑल ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट, द फैक्ट इज कि मोटो ऑफ एजुकेशन or the motto of a student while taking this education becomes to get me the 75% attendance, I don't get debarred, and I should appear in the examination, get my degree. अब ये सारे क्राइसिस को कुछ 6 ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस का मैं नाम लूंगा: गूगल, अर्नस्ट एंड यंग, स्टारबक्स, एप्पल, IBM और बैंक ऑफ अमेरिका. ये इनके रीसेंट डिसीजन है कि हम बिना डिग्री के इंटरव्यूज लेंगे. हमें डिग्री से मतलब नहीं है. पोटेंशियल बंदे में होना चाहिए, स्टूडेंट में वो पोटेंशियल होना चाहिए. उसका पोटेंशियल होगा तो हम उसको हायर करेंगे. चैलेंज कहां आ रहा है? चैलेंज आ रहा है कॉर्पोरेट कैंपस और कॉलेज कैंपस अगर अलग अलग संसार रहे. कॉर्पोरेट कैंपस और कॉलेज कैंपस, इफ दे रिमेन टू डिफरेंट वर्ल्ड, आप कभी रिजल्ट प्रोड्यूस कर ही नहीं सकते. आज कॉर्पोरेट को बच्चा चाहिए, एक बच्चा 5 का काम करे, और बच्चा कॉलेज से आता है 5 मिलके 1 का काम नहीं कर पाते. संसार अलग अलग है. कॉलेज में जो पढ़ाया जा रहा है वो कॉर्पोरेट में चाहिए नहीं. कॉर्पोरेट में जो मांग रहे हैं वो कॉलेज पढ़ा नहीं रहा है. गैप बढ़ता जा रहा है. तो आज ऐसी कंडीशंस में वेरी क्विकली करना क्या है? मेरे साथ में बैठे हुए थे अभी IIM अहमदाबाद के HOD स्ट्रैटेजी और HR के, उनके प्रोफेसर है, सबसे सीजन प्रोफेसर, उनके हाईएस्ट रैंकिंग प्रोफेसर है IIM अहमदाबाद के. वो बताया कि आज अगर पढ़ाने का तरीका बदल दिया जाए, हार्वर्ड 80% केस स्टडी लेता है, 10% प्रोजेक्ट और 5% लेक्चर, 5% लर्निंग. स्टैनफोर्ड 40% केस स्टडी, 25% प्रोजेक्ट, 20% लेक्चर और 15% बाकी लर्निंग. वॉटन 40% केस स्टडी, 25% प्रोजेक्ट, 20% लेक्चर, 15% लर्निंग. स्टूडेंट आज समर इंटर्नशिप करता नहीं, उसको एक इंडस्ट्रियल आर्मी के बराबर खड़ा करना. जैसे समझिए हमारे बॉर्डर पे आर्मी रहता है, वो भी सिनेरियो उसको प्लान करते हैं. ऐसे ही बिजनेस का आर्मी तैयार करना है. दैट इज व्हाट इज नीडेड. ट्रेंड्स बदलते जा रहे हैं. ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन का मार्केट इंडिया में बदल गया है. पिछले 3 साल में 8 गुना ग्रो किया और 3 महीने में दोबारा 8 गुना ग्रो किया. लेट मी टेल यू, 15 लाख का एनरोलमेंट था टोटल किसी भी ऑनलाइन प्रोडक्ट के कंजम्पशन में, ऑनलाइन कंटेंट के कंजम्पशन में, एजुकेशन प्रोग्राम में. और वो 1.5 मिलियन से 10 मिलियन हुआ अभी 2020 में. और वही नंबर अचानक जो 8 गुना पहले बढ़ा, वही नंबर दोबारा 8 गुना बढ़ा. जो $250 मिलियन की मार्केट थी वो $2 बिलियन की मार्केट हुई, और अचानक मार्केट का टोटल बेस चेंज हो गया. दोबारा फिर से 8 गुना बढ़ा, यानी कि वो $16 बिलियन की मार्केट हो गई पिछले 3 महीने में. कौन से 3 महीने? अप्रैल, मई, जून. एक क्वार्टर ने पूरा गेम चेंज कर दिया. दिस इज कोविड. ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन के ट्रेंड्स जो 2024 में बढ़ने वाले थे वो 2020-21 में ही दिखने लग गए हैं. जो 2024 में ट्राइजेक्टरी which was about to get visible in 2023 and 24, it is visible now. So things have changed. India has become 3rd largest online market for educational content to get consumed. We have more than 1 million registered schools, जिसमें 18,000 हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशन है जो बहुत तेजी से अब अडॉप्ट करने जा रहे हैं. अब अगर देखें कि ये ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन ट्रेंड क्यों बिल्ड होएगा कोविड के बाद, पहले भी इसकी स्ट्रेंथ बहुत थी, कोविड के बाद और बढ़ गई, क्योंकि ये वर्चुअल लर्निंग टूल है. दैट्स फर्स्ट. नंबर 2, इसमें कस्टमाइज्ड कोर्सेज आ रहे हैं लोगों के लिए। आई वॉन्ट माई आला कार्ट। मेरे को आज कोई, मुझे जो चाहिए मैं वो लूंगा, लेकिन लूंगा मैं बड़े बफे में से। स्टूडेंट का आज, स्टूडेंट दे वांट टू एंजॉय लाइक अ सबवे। मेरे को मेरी चॉइस चाहिए, लेकिन लूंगा मैं जैसा सबवे के फॉर्मेट में रहता है। इतना कुछ है, यू चूज व्हाट यू वांट। रेडिली अवेलेबल फ्री कंटेंट है बहुत, जो कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्ड कर रहा है, अफोर्डेबल और एक्सेसिबल हो गया है। पेरेंट्स आज पार्टनर बनते जा रहे हैं ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन में। इस मॉडल को बोलते हैं माइक्रो लर्निंग। यू नो व्हाट इज माइक्रो लर्निंग? पहले 2 घंटे, 1 घंटे, 3 घंटे का लेक्चर हुआ करता था, अभी 12 मिनट का वीडियो होता है, 15 मिनट का वीडियो होता है। इट्स कॉल्ड माइक्रो लर्निंग। 10 मिनट का वीडियो होता है, 10 मिनट का वीडियो देखा, ठाक, एक लर्निंग कंप्लीट करी, नेक्स्ट। एक लर्निंग कंप्लीट करी, टेस्ट लिया, नेक्स्ट। एक लर्निंग कंप्लीट करी, टेस्ट लिया, नेक्स्ट। अगर 10 से 15 मिनट के वीडियोस के कंटेंट अगर वो मिनी माइक्रो लर्निंग कंज्यूम करेगा तो रिटेंशन बढ़ रहा है उसका। गेमिफिकेशन बिल्ड कर रहे हैं आज, ताकि उसमें इंटरेस्ट बिल्ड हो, एक्साइटमेंट आए वीडियो बेस्ड लर्निंग के साथ में। इसके अलावा क्रॉस प्लेटफॉर्म्स मिलते जा रहे हैं। टाइम बेस्ड लर्निंग हो चुका है। आप कितनी देर सीखना चाहते हैं? मैं हफ्ते में 2 घंटा सीखना चाहता हूं, सैटरडे को 2 घंटा सीखना चाहता हूं, संडे को मैं 4 घंटा दूंगा। ओके, उस हिसाब से करिकुलम डिजाइन हो गया है, कंटेक्सचुअलाइज्ड हो गया है बहुत। आपका कॉन्टेक्स्ट क्या है, उसके बाद कंटेंट आएगा। पहले फर्स्ट लेट अस नो योर कॉन्टेक्स्ट एंड देन विल गिव यू द कंटेंट। इसको बोलते हैं क्राउड बेस्ड टीचिंग। अगर अच्छी फैकल्टी हो, बहुत अमेजिंग फैकल्टी हो, तो बड़ा क्राउड हम आराम से मैनेज कर सकते हैं उसमें। और ये अर्निंग से आज कनेक्ट की जा रही है लर्निंग। सारे कॉलेजेस को आज नैक रेटिंग दिया जाता है। नैक रेटिंग बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है। इसमें ये बात समझना कि एक कॉलेज में उसकी सफलता के मापदंड मुख्य रूप से 2 देखे जाते हैं, उसमें कितना एडमिशन हो रहा है और उसमें कितना प्लेसमेंट हो रहा है। ये 2 चीजें हैं। इनपुट और आउटपुट मैट्रिक्स के बेसिस पे उस कॉलेज की सफलता को देखा जाता है। तो अगर आज उसको हम अर्निंग के साथ में डायरेक्टली कनेक्ट कर दे लर्निंग को, तभी ठीक रहेगा। नहीं तो पुराना थ्योरेटिकल बेस्ड एकेडमिक क्लासरूम अप्रोच विल नॉट सस्टेन फॉर लॉन्ग। इसके लिए आपको प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड लर्निंग्स बिल्ड करनी है। एक प्रोजेक्ट दिया, उसकी लर्निंग क्या है, एक प्रोजेक्ट दिया, उसकी लर्निंग क्या है। और टोटल इसी को बोलते हैं मैसिव ओपन ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज, मूक। इसी को कहते हैं मैसिव ओपन ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज। देखिए, बड़ा बिजनेस भी यही कर रहा है। आज हमारी 75 एक्टिव ब्रांचेस हैं इंडिया में। लगभग 3000 लोगों की टोटल मैन पावर है सारे हमारे आईबीसी के साथ में। ये मैन पावर अगले 1 क्वार्टर में हम 10,000 करने जा रहे हैं। और ये आज हम अभी तक 50,000 स्टूडेंट्स को ट्रेन कर चुके हैं 1 साल में। मैं 1 साल बता रहा हूं, प्लीज मेक अ नोट ऑफ इट। 2019 से 2020 तक हमने 50,000 स्टूडेंट्स ट्रेन किए 1 साल में। हमारा रेवेन्यू ग्रोथ 200% हो रहा है ईयर ऑन ईयर, 300% हो रहा है ईयर ऑन ईयर। जो हमारा टोटल कैगर है पिछले 4 साल का, वो 300% है। लेकिन अच्छी बात क्या है, क्योंकि हमारा ये ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन बहुत तेज पिकअप किया, तो पिछले 1 क्वार्टर में हमने अपने सारे रेवेन्यूज को पिछले 3 महीने के अंदर डबल कर दिया है। पहले 3 महीने में 20%, 30% ग्रो करते थे, अभी 3 महीने में 200% ग्रो किया हम लोग। सो GWR यानी कि गिनीज वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड हमारे बने। हमने 3 वेबिनार किए, तीनों वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड हो गए। तीनों में गिनीज ने उसको रजिस्टर किया। आज आपको अच्छा लगेगा जान के, फेसबुक पे आज हमारे 5 मिलियन प्लस फॉलोअर्स हैं। 40 करोड़ वीडियोस हमारे पर मंथ देखे जाते हैं। फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग और नंबर 1 एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप यूट्यूब चैनल है वर्ल्ड में। आप हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल पे हो सकता है आए हो, अगर नहीं आए तो जरूर आइए। विवेक बिंद्रा टाइप करके आपको मिलेगा। आज 1,32,00,000 फॉलोअर्स है हमारे यूट्यूब पे। अब पहचान से मिला काम थोड़े बहुत समय के लिए रहता है, लेकिन काम से मिली पहचान उम्र भर रहती है। मैं इसके लिए बताना चाहता हूं कि काम से कैसे मिले पहचान स्टूडेंट को। उसके लिए वैसे पारितोष ने भी शायद आपको शेयर किया, हमने कुछ प्रोग्राम्स बनाए। एक बना हमने पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट का प्रोग्राम कि स्टूडेंट की पर्सनालिटी कैसे कॉर्पोरेट के रिक्वायरमेंट को सूट करे। उसको हमने कम्युनिकेशन पे इंट्रा, पब्लिक स्पीकिंग, वॉइस मॉड्यूलेशन, राइट माइंडसेट, बॉडी लैंग्वेज, प्रेजेंटेशन स्किल, स्टेज हैंडलिंग, स्वॉट एनालिसिस, उसका अपना कनेक्ट, कन्वे, कन्विंस, बिल्डिंग सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस, हाउ टू इंस्पायर ऑडियंस, बेसिक एटिकेट, थिएटर स्किल्स भी सिखाए उसको, बिल्डिंग योर ओन पर्सनल ब्रांड, लीडिंग डिस्कशंस इन मीटिंग्स, लीडरशिप एंड टीम बिल्डिंग, अपीयरेंस एंड अटायर, डिफिकल्ट कॉन्वर्सेशन। कैंपस टू कॉर्पोरेट को बहुत नीचे तक लेके गए ब्रेक डाउन करके। उसके सोशल स्किल्स बिल्ड किए, अडेप्ट, अप्लाई, इवॉल्व एंड ग्रो। उसका इमोशनल क्वेश्चन तैयार किया, कल्चरल क्वेश्चन तैयार किया। उसको हम बिजनेस फ्रेजेस सिखा रहे हैं। हमने इस कोर्स को बनाया पॉकेट मनी टू प्रोफेशनल सैलरी। पहले वो पॉकेट मनी लेता था, आज वो प्रोफेशनल सैलरी की तैयारी कर रहा है। तो पॉकेट मनी से प्रोफेशनल सैलरी पे वो कैसे जाए, इंपॉर्टेंट है। फ्यूचर जॉब्स कहाँ होंगी, उसके गोल्स और उसका करियर प्लानिंग कैसे होगा, उसका रेज्यूमे बिल्डिंग, टाइम मैनेजमेंट, डिजिटल सेल्स, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, इंटरव्यू हैंडलिंग स्किल, इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस, विमेन एम्पावरमेंट, हाउ टू स्टार्ट अ स्टार्टअप, हाउ टू स्केल अ स्टार्टअप। इनफैक्ट सोलोप्रेन्योर, वनरप्रेन्योर और एंटरप्रेन्योर के साथ सिखा रहे हैं। इंटर्नशिप स्किल क्या, इनोवेशन, लीडरशिप स्किल, नेटवर्किंग स्किल, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, ग्रुप डिस्कशन, कोलैबोरेशन, रेज्यूमे राइटिंग, टेक्नोलॉजी लिटरेसी, लीडरशिप, सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग माइंडसेट, ग्लोबल आउटलुक एंड थिंकिंग, इंटरव्यू हैंडलिंग, प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर योर ड्रीम जॉब, क्रिएटिंग योर फर्स्ट इंप्रेशन। और उसके बाद स्टूडेंट की 3 चीजों को पकड़ते हैं। जो मुझे भाता है, what excites me, जो मुझे आता है, what is my skill set, और जो बाजार चाहता है, what is the consumer demand। 3 things, हाँ। जो मुझे भाता है, जो मुझे आता है, जो बाजार चाहता है, what excites me, what is my skill set, and what is the consumer demanding from me। मार्केट में बिकता क्या है। So the common focal point coming out of these 3 piles is what is your market where you actually grow। So यही इसी एरिया पे हमने फोकस किया और यहीं से हम एक बड़ा चेंज लाना चाहते हैं। वी वांटेड टू मेक ऑनलाइन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप एंड मैनेजमेंट एजुकेशन अफोर्डेबल। आज स्टूडेंट से हम 750 रुपया महीना लेते हैं, खाली 750 रुपीज अ मंथ। हमारे साथ सिखाते कौन है, देश के सारे बिलियनियर प्रोफेसर्स। जिस इंडस्ट्री का जो व्यक्ति नंबर 1 है, वो उसको हमने प्रोफेसर की तरह एंगेज किया। आज मोटरसाइकिल्स और साइकिल्स में नंबर 1 हीरो है, तो उसके चेयरमैन पंकज मुंजाल को हमने साथ में लिया। आज अगर आरओ में नंबर 1 केंट है, तो उनके चेयरमैन को साथ में लिया। पैकर्स मूवर्स में नंबर 1 अग्रवाल पैकर मूवर है, तो उनके चेयरमैन को लिया। अगर चाइनीज मोबाइल में, इंटरनेशनल मोबाइल में जो इंडिया में आके बनते हैं, इसमें नंबर 1 शाओमी है, तो उनके भी हमने सीईओ मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर को लिया। और अगर इंडियन में लावा नंबर 1 है, तो उसके भी चेयरमैन को हमने लिया। अगर अखबारों में नंबर 1 दैनिक भास्कर है, तो उसके भी चेयरमैन को हम ले रहे हैं। अगर पैथोलॉजी में नंबर 1 लाल पाथ लैब है, तो उसके भी चेयरमैन को साथ ले रहे हैं। अगर पहला लिस्टिंग बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में करनी है, तो उसके मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर को भी हमने प्रोफेसर बना दिया। अगर गोल्ड के बिजनेस में नंबर 1 जिस कंपनी का राजेश एक्सपोर्ट जो चेयरमैन है, हमने उनको भी लिया। बैंक्स में नंबर 1 प्राइवेट एचडीएफसी है, तो उनके चेयरमैन को लिया। पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स में नंबर 1 एसबीआई या स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया, तो उसके चेयरमैन को भी लिया। अगर डेयरी प्रोडक्ट्स के अंदर नंबर 1 अमूल है, तो उसके चेयरमैन को प्रोफेसर बनाया। आज जितने प्रोफेसर हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म पे हैं, एफएमसीजी के अंदर इंडियन एफएमसीजी में नंबर 1 पतंजलि है, तो उसके चेयरमैन को हमने आचार्य बालकृष्ण को प्रोफेसर बनाया। सो हम चाहते हैं कि स्टूडेंट अर्ली स्टेज पे ही वॉनरप्रेन्योर और सोलोप्रेन्योर की स्टेज से अच्छी शुरुआत करे। अभिमन्यु की चक्रव्यूह भेदने की शुरुआत मां के गर्भ में हो गई थी। प्रहलाद, जिसने हिरण्यकशिपु, जिसका वध किया नरसिंह भगवान ने, प्रहलाद की हत्या करना चाहते थे हिरण्यकशिपु, उनकी भी एजुकेशन 5 साल की उम्र में हो गई। अगर पेरेंट्स एंड टीचर्स आर द फर्स्ट लुकिंग ग्लास ऑफ चिल्ड्रन, because a student will see their life through this one pair of glasses, which is called teachers and parents। धन इकट्ठा करना आसान है, पर संस्कार इकट्ठे नहीं किए जा सकते। वो आपको तब मिलते हैं जब आपको एक शिक्षक दे सकते हैं या माँ बाप दे सकते हैं। माँ बाप के बाद अगला सबसे महत्वपूर्ण व्यक्ति शिक्षक ही होता है। उसको चाहिए कि वो एक एनकरेजमेंट हम लोग बिल्ड कर सकें, तभी ये परिवर्तन ला सकेंगे हम लोग। और यही मेरा एक छोटा सा मैसेज था जो मैं आज देना चाहता था। मुश्किल नहीं है। जो आज जो बच्चे हैं हमारे, उसमें बहुत पोटेंशियल है, बहुत पॉसिबिलिटीज है। उस पोटेंशियल को, उस पॉसिबिलिटी को हमें बिल्ड करना है। फैकल्टीज बोलती हैं स्टूडेंट्स को कि चुप बैठो, चुप बैठो, चुप बैठो। पता है आपको, बचपन में उनको सिखाते हैं उठो चलो, उठो चलो। उठो को हमने बोल दिया बैठो, और चलो बोलो को बोलती है आपने चुप बैठो। तो इट्स नॉट राइट। यू हैव टू इन्वॉल्व द स्टूडेंट्स। जितना इन्वॉल्व करेंगे उतना अच्छा है, उतना बात आगे बढ़ सकती है। तो ये आज स्टूडेंट्स को सेल्फ स्टडी पे बहुत काम करना है। आज उनको अपने नेक्स्ट ईयर के सिलेबस और इस साल के सिलेबस को साथ साथ ट्रैक करना है। पढ़ाई से प्रेम करना है, रीडिंग से प्रेम करना है। अपनी पर्सनल हेल्थ पे ध्यान दीजिए इस कोविड के दौरान। और अपनी लर्निंग स्पीड को बढ़ाइए, स्पीड रीडिंग को प्रैक्टिस करिए, अपनी एक्टिविटीज का एक रूटीन बनाइए। मैं कुछ स्टूडेंट्स को सुझाव दे रहा हूं, उसमें कुछ बातें और दो चार कहना चाहूंगा कि अपने स्पीकिंग स्किल और राइटिंग टैलेंट को भी साथ साथ बिल्ड करते जाइए। फोकस पे बिल्ड करिए, बहुत पावर ऑफ फोकस, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। मेरे एक प्रोफेसर है डॉक्टर वेलू मनी, थायरो केयर के चेयरमैन, फोकस की बहुत बात करते हैं। हो सके तो आपका ANT खत्म करिए, ऑटोमेटिक नेगेटिव थॉट्स, ANT, राइट? उस पर आप उसको बिल्ड, बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है ये ANT, ऑटोमेटिक नेगेटिव थॉट्स। कैसे जाएंगे आपके? ये तब जाएंगे जब आप एंटरटेनमेंट की जगह एडुटेनमेंट पे फोकस करेंगे, और उसके बाद फिर मुश्किल नहीं है, फिर बहुत बड़ी संभावना है। बहरहाल मैं ज्यादा समय नहीं लूंगा आज। धन्यवाद मुझे इनवाइट करने के लिए और ये अपॉर्चुनिटी देने के लिए कि मैं आपके साथ बात कर सकूं। समय और शिक्षा का सही उपयोग ही व्यक्ति के जीवन को सफल बनाता है। नॉलेज में किया गया इन्वेस्टमेंट सबसे ज्यादा रिटर्न देता है। आप आइए हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल पे, हम फ्री वीडियोस देते हैं, आपको फ्री कंटेंट देते हैं जहां आप सीख सकते हैं। हमारे साथ में मिस्टर गगन बुटानी है, उनका मैं आपको नंबर भी अभी शेयर करूंगा अगर आपके पास पेन और पेपर है तो। अगर पेन और पेपर नहीं है तो आप पेन और पेपर ले लीजिए। मैं आपको गगन बुटानी जी का नंबर देता हूं, जो कि हमारे साथ में स्ट्रैटेजिक अलायंस करते हैं कॉलेजेस, स्कूल्स और यूनिवर्सिटीज और इंस्टीट्यूट की पार्टनरशिप का। स्कूल, कॉलेज, यूनिवर्सिटीज, इंस्टीट्यूट्स, आपके पास पेन पेपर है कि नहीं है? नहीं है अभी तक? फिर अरेंज करिए, लिखिए अपने पास में। ये गगन बुटानी, इनका नंबर है 9810303687। मैं दो बार और बोलूंगा, 9810303687। लास्ट टाइम बोल रहा हूं, अगर आप लिख रहे थे मिस कर गए तो 9810303687। इनका नाम है मिस्टर गगन बुटानी। अगर आप अपने स्कूल, कॉलेज, इंस्टीट्यूट को चाहते हैं कि बड़ा बिजनेस के साथ एक पार्टनरशिप में हम आपको अपना कंटेंट दे, आपको ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म दे, अगर आप हमारा प्लेटफॉर्म यूज करना चाहते हैं, अगर आप चाहते हैं कि आपके प्लेटफॉर्म पे ये सारे बिलियनर्स जाकर के बच्चों को सिखाएं, ये सारे बिलियनर्स जाकर के बच्चों को ट्रेनिंग दें, तो आप इसका लाभ उठाइए। मिस्टर गगन बुटानी को फोन करिए। ही लुक्स आफ्टर दिस डिपार्टमेंट। आज वो है भी इस कॉल पे, तो मैंने इससे सोचा कि आई शुड सजेस्ट यू टू स्पीक टू हिम, ताकि आप इसको प्लान कर सकें। धन्यवाद। थैंक यू टू द प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर गिविंग मी दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी टू कम एंड स्पीक टू ऑल ऑफ यू। हमारे साथ जुड़े रहने के लिए, हर बार वापस आके यूट्यूब पे और फेसबुक पे हमारे वीडियोस को देखने के लिए हृदय की गहराइयों से आपका प्रेम पूर्वक बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you very much, sir. We are extremely happy, we are extremely delighted and honored to have you as a chief guest for this National Conclave on Campus to Corporate. As rightly said by Uma ma'am in the beginning, during your introduction, you are always in a role of Sarthi, which motivates, which transforms your energy to all the youngsters, to all the students. So thank you so much for your presence. Thank you so much for your insights, your learnings, and all your experiences. Thank you so much, sir. Now I propose vote of thanks at the end of this particular program. So I'm extremely thankful to all the panel members, all the dignitaries, all the academic excellence. And first of all, I'd like to congratulate all the students. I would like to thank all the people, all the audience which are connected to this particular national conclave. Starting with, I'm extremely thankful to Atul Bhatnagar ji, who have attended, who have shared his views, his insights as one of the keynote speaker. Followed by, I am thankful to all the panel members, all the vice chancellors, and all the associate members, namely Dr. Ratan Sharma sir. Thank you, sir, for being connected with us. Next, Dr. E.B. Khedkar sir from Ajinkya D.Y. Patil University. Next, I'm thankful to Dr. V.A. Raikar sir from Sanjay Ghodawat University, Dr. Pramod Kumar sir from ISBM, Dr. G.K. Shirude sir from C. Balaji University, Paritosh Sharma sir from Bada Business Private Limited, Dr. Mrs. Sushma Kulkarni ma'am from RIT Institute of Technology, Dr. Anil Rao sir from Wellinkar Business Management School, Dr. Navneet Sharma sir from Vijay Bhumi University, Pran Mehta sir from Rotary, and last but not the least, I'm extremely thankful to Dr. Ganesh Rao sir for your time, for all your efforts in bringing this particular national conclave live today, which we were planning since last few days. And last but not the least, I'm thankful to entire technical team, the support team of Bada Business Private Limited, OPEX Accelerator Private Limited, for this particular national conclave. And I hope whatever students, whatever audiences right now we have on our for this particular national conclave, this particular session, this particular program is fruitful to everyone. Thank you so much.